Hello and welcome back to Xpwaste, where I have joined a new religion, and our Lord and Savior is the Gemstone Crab. Hi, I'm Michael.
And I'm Oxie. If you're new around here, welcome. We're a podcast that talks about old school RuneScape. We took a week off last week, which feels kind of weird. It feels like I'm playing a totally different video game now, but it's the same game. It's old school. If you're here for old school RuneScape, you're in the right spot. Even if you're a WoW streamer who's like, oh, I want to get into more old school content, you're definitely in the right spot because we talk about this game a ton. If you're not new around here, my login screen when I turned the game on today was last logged in 12 days, 17 hours, and 48 minutes ago. I'm kind of burnt. Michael, how are you doing?
I like how you start with me. I mean, that's how we do it, but I'm doing fantastic. I think that we haven't recorded in 12 days, if I'm not mistaken. So I feel like the last time you played was was before we even, anyway, I can't do math, but I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing really great. I think that I am not burnt, but I am kind of burnt. But I've just been AFKing stuff. I got a couple of the new quests done. I'm working on the final dawn. I just haven't had a ton of time to play. I've got family in town right now, and the last couple of days have been busy. And whenever I have gotten on to play since the new Varnmore update, I've not wanted to do a quest. I've kind of just wanted to do whatever. So the past, what has it been, like 2 weeks? The past 2 weeks, nothing crazy except for Gemstone Crab. All hail our Lord and Savior, Gemstone Crab. I've got 96 attack, 96 defense, 96 range. A lot of AFK spent at the crab. It's funny. I have to tell this story, and maybe this will help you, the listener. So for the first 6 to 8 hours, I was killing the crab AFK. I went to the bank. I was not thinking, and I just pulled out void range, MSB, and rune arrows. I was like, oh, I have 7,000 rune arrows. It'll be fine. 6 to 8 hours later, I've used several thousand rune arrows. I'm like, this doesn't feel great and it's not sustainable, but we press on. And so I was digging in the little hole to get to the next crab, and I pop out and I see somebody shooting their bofa, and I'm like, I am an idiot. I have a bofa with unlimited ammo. And not only is it unlimited ammo, but it's also better XP per hour. So I switched to full crystal. I grabbed my bofa, and I went from doing 70k an hour to 80 to 85k an hour AFK range. So if you're out there and you have full crystal bofa, use it at the Gemstone Crab. If you just want to AFK your range. Now, do I condone AFKing range? Not really. You probably will get decent range XP through Slayer and through PVM, just like you get decent combat XP, magic XP through Slayer and PVM. But if there's nothing else to do, sit at the crab. But yeah, all hail Gemstone Crab. Oxie has not touched the crab, so he does not know of my new religion, but one day he might, and I think he will sing the praises of the Gemstone Crab. If there was any critiques I could offer for the Gemstone Crab, there's 0. 10 out of 10, no notes. One of the best updates we've had in a long time. It's like stars level AFK for combats, which if you're a new account and you are currently listening to this while you're AFK at sand crabs or ammonite crabs, leave them right now and go to the Gemstone Crab and smack it. Now, it's really funny because Jagex actually posted on their Twitter that 3 hardcore Ironmen have died at the Gemstone Crab because
It's up to 8 now, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. At least the last time I looked.
That's crazy. So one of the tactics for a pretty decent method is to have really low HP and use Darox, but the Gemstone Crab can target you and he can hit a 1. So if you're AFK and you're really low health, just stay above a 1 or maybe even a 2. I would say, just to be safe, stay around 5 HP and you should be fine. But other than that, Volleymoor is amazing. We could gush, but we're not going to because my co-host
I was gonna
just
say,
said he hasn't played in 12 days.
can we gush? You can
we could.
gush.
On a
I
normal
can't.
day, you can't gush, and I'm not going to gush without you. That just seems wrong. One day we will gush. Together, we will gush.
As
Seems
lovers
very
together.
Well, okay, so I do have to warn you guys. My next question will incite some form of non-old school RuneScape topics. So if you came here for the podcast to listen to old school RuneScape, just skip ahead probably 5 minutes. That would be safe. Oxie's going to talk about fencing.
If you're going to skip ahead, I don't even have words for you, dude. Like, if you're a new timer, I get it. You're new. You're probably from World of Warcraft. You're looking for something good. I get it. I'm going to talk about my real life for a minute. You don't need to listen to that. That's totally fine. I'd love it if you did, but you don't have to. If you're not a new person, if you're not new around here, like we said, and you've been with us for 207 episodes, if you have the audacity to skip my weekly update, I will cry in a corner. I hope you know that. Anyways, Michael, thanks for asking. I've had a fantastic 2 weeks. I feel Legend Gary, who's in the recording booth, said, I'm skipping right now. And Jack said, I can't find the skip button. I hate it here. I have been so miserably burnt on this game. It's not even funny. For context, when Varlamore Part 1 came out, I looked at updates all day on Twitter. I was very excited to play. I got home. I streamed it. I was running around having a great time. When Varlamore Part 2 came out, I think I was busy with work. I think work was picking up. Like we were getting back into the semester, something whenever it came out. I couldn't really be involved on the first day. But the minute I got home from whatever I was doing and finally had some time, I did all the quests. I went to Hoykodal. I didn't know a Moxolotl was a thing, so I was surprised by the boss fight. That was cool. The pet's name is Moxie. That's my namesake. I'm like, oh, I got to get this pet one day. Super cool. Varlamore Part 3, I logged into the main. I put my Fashionscape on. I went to Civitas Illifortis. I spoke with the queen. I started the new quest, and it said, hey, you should probably go to the camp from Varlamore Part 2 and bring those robes with you. And I went, yeah, I'm not doing all that. And I logged out. And I have not logged in until today, August 4th, where I was doing a little bit of Zulrah to feel something again. And I'm now just cooking Karambwans AFK at the Myths Guild while we record this episode on the Iron Man. My goals for the year, for the last several years, have always started with the statement, maintain a healthy relationship with old school RuneScape. And let me tell you guys, I've said it once and I'll say it again. If you don't want to play RuneScape, don't play RuneScape. Just don't. Don't play RuneScape. I did not play it for several days. I enjoyed myself quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I've done so little RuneScape, and by little, I mean not at all. I, for some reason, was like, you know what? I'm going to play Jurassic World Evolution 2. Whatever. We'll figure out what it is. I have not played that game in literally 2 years, since April of 2023, I think was the last time I turned it on. I played that bitch for like probably 25 hours in the last week. Like, definitely not during the work day. I would never do that. But, you know, after work and after practice, there's a bonfire on last Friday that I got invited to. I forgot that it was a thing and was so peopled out that I was like, I'm not going to go. I'm sorry. I'm not doing all that. I just played Jurassic World Evolution 2. Been loving it. I'm playing challenge mode. It's great. Also, shockingly enough, fencing has been very busy. I don't know about this week, how I've been fencing, because this week, when you're listening, hasn't happened yet. But last week, I was fencing like a machine, like doing really well in all of my pools and my DEs just to practice, stuff like that. Had some good lessons with some of my students, so it's been going well there. And then on Saturday, when this episode comes out, is the first tournament of the regular season here in Michigan. I know I literally just got back from Summer Nationals, but welcome to USA Fencing. You get 3 weeks off. And it's actually, this tournament, the Duelist, is the same tournament that 2 years ago I ruptured my Achilles tendon in the warm-up. And last year at the Duelist, they canceled the event because they couldn't get into the gym. The high school that they fence out of double booked and canceled them because of repairs. So I have not been back to that gym since I ruptured my Achilles tendon. I'm very excited for the tournament. I think it's going to be a good tournament. I've been fencing pretty well recently, so we'll see how it goes. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't at least a little nervous to step foot back on the gym floor. Other than that, though, man, life has been lifing. I feel like I sound like my boss, and that kind of hurts my heart. For no reason. My boss is just an elder millennial and says stuff like that, you know? So I don't know. That's what I've been up to. I haven't touched the Doom. I haven't done the quest. I haven't even been to the new parts of Varlamore. No idea. I did, however, get brought back from the dead. Maybe recently, just to throw a little sprinkle of a teaser out there to prove that we are not, in fact, totally burnt on this game. We maybe, just maybe, we may have started planning fall bingo. Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't there. I may have been there the whole time. Maybe. I don't know.
I was in the room where it happened.
Michael has been singing Hamilton songs all day. I don't think you understand. We connected to the voice chat, and the first thing Michael did, I got up to go do something, and he started monologuing Hamilton lines and then started singing songs. I'm like, oh no, it's going to be a long day.
It's all I have on my TikTok For You page. I'm not complaining, but people have been doing, they've been making Hamilton look like a jerk. It's funny. It's really funny. Not Lin-Manuel, just Hamilton the character.
Yeah.
The person.
Is the crab not on the collection log?
No, it doesn't have any jobs.
Lame.
You know, I actually got baited really hard. Somebody the first day was like, have you guys gotten the pet yet? Somebody got it like 5 kills ago. I was like, what? They put a pet? I searched the collection log. I'm not gonna lie to you. I went through it. I tried to find it. They're like, they got it, but it didn't show up on the log. I was like, what? I was baited. Have you in all this time that you haven't been playing, have you managed to get a Rune H helmet or a black dragon mask yet?
Yeah, I've actually I've had both, and I've been sitting on them because I hate you and don't want you to complete your clues. That's definitely why you haven't gotten them from me. Not because I haven't logged in for 2 weeks. It's because I just don't want you to have fun.
I'm having a lot of fun.
I'm at a bank right now. Let me see. Dragon? Yeah, I definitely know I don't have one of those. What's the other thing you need?
A Rune H something.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't matter which one.
Rune H, it's gone. I don't have it. I don't care if it's the helmet, the body, the shield. I don't have it. I don't have any.
You don't have any of it. Okay. Well, I've done a lot of hard clues in the last 2 weeks. That's the other thing I forgot to talk about. Because when I'm logged in, I have this like primal urge to just do clues. That's a weird way to say it, I guess. You're giving me a face. Is that weird?
I have
an unnatural urge. I have an unnatural addiction. I have an addiction. I'm not addicted.
I can stop whenever I want.
I tried to get my mimic, which I did, and I did that from my master clues. And then I got to a master clue step on like the 6th step, I think it was. And it said, get a black dragon mask. And I was like, oh, okay, I have one of those. Turns out nobody has one of those. And you get them from hard clues. And so my stack of like 40 something Scotizo totems, dark totems, is down to near single digits. Because I've just been using those hard clues and elite clues for master clues. And then I'm up to 50 hard clues completed on the Iron, which means I could hold 4 of them now on the Iron Man account. And notably have not received anything interesting except for 15 noted potions. I rolled
noted anti-fires.
The goddamn rare drop table. Mega rare drop table.
Beautiful.
and didn't get a third age piece.
It was fun to
I'm
watch.
kind of not mad. I'm just disappointed. So hard clues, still nothing. I'll keep you guys updated as the weeks go on, and I'm still doing clues. Whether or not we get these steps done. I've already turned in the hard clues that require the helmet, but at this point it's just personal because I need them.
Please
future steps.
Keep us updated. We will be waiting with bated breath on the edge of our seats. For your
I know you
clue
will.
journey.
You definitely will. Everybody will. They'll be asking me on the streets. They're like, Michael, how's the hard clue journey going? I'll just give you guys updates as they come.
So,
and you should too.
Your exhilarating clue journey aside, what are we here talking about today? What did we see? What came out that we're like, oh shit, we kind of have to do an episode this week? Not that we don't like doing the show, but it's Monday at like 8:00 at night, so we're totally. Like, I skipped practice tonight. Michael's wife and kid are out of town. It's a whole. This weekend has been shambolic, so we figured we would force an episode tonight because it's too big not to talk about. What is it, Michael?
It's too big not to notice, and it is the second installment of the sailing blog series that we're going to be doing. The first one we did a couple of weeks ago, and we teased the fact that they're going to have more sailing blogs in the future. And this is number 2. I don't remember if there's 3 or 4 or 5. I know there's at least 3 because the next time we get a blog, it'll be about Slayer. But this is the resources and skilling activities poll. Emphasis on the poll because none of this is coming into the game without our consent. So that's why we're here to talk about it, because it is like pretty jam-packed with a lot of interesting things that potentially could be coming to the game or reworked to then later come into the game if people give enough feedback. The few things that I've seen here, none of it really seems that far off to where I wouldn't say yes. All of this to me seems like a blanket yes. That's usually how polls go for me. So the more we talk about it here, that might change. But before we get started, I did want to read this little blurb from the blog itself, just to kind of get us on the right foot and have us in the right headspace. So it says, previous skills have come hand in hand with resources required to support their unique gameplay. We've strived to make sailing feel authentically old school by leaning into the same kind of progression and adding new thematic resources. Wood to craft hulls and sails, metals for sturdy keels and cannons, and fish and bait for long sea voyages. While it may feel like we're adding a lot, we've been careful to find a good balance. Alongside these new resources, we're also making sure to incorporate existing materials like nails, traditional planks, and other items you already know well from your adventures. So while this blog is going to contain an entire game's worth of new things, they're wanting to emphasize that, yes, all of this stuff is crazy new. That's by design. It's to make this skill feel like it incorporates well into the other skills, and it's not just this like little island, floating off by itself, and like it doesn't like it's going. They want sailing to interact with the other skills, just like the other skills interact with all the other skills. You wouldn't have fire making without woodcutting or fletching. You wouldn't have fletching without woodcutting. So like, there's a bunch of different things that all kind of just go together. So, what is the first thing we're going to be talking about? Funny enough, woodcutting and fire making. Why don't you tell us what logs we're going to be looking at here? What logs we're seeing?
So, I so badly want to mention the fact that you've not read this fucking blog.
I did. I begrudgingly watched a video. I got a little bit of an update. And then as Oxie was doing Achievement of the Week, I read it. That's just called a segue, bro.
The video was remarkable, by the way. Loved it. Excellent work.
Is that rage bait? Because it's working.
It might be. It could be rage bait. I'm not entirely sure. But
it's working.
How do you say this name? Heybox Jong and No Monkey. Spectacular job, boys. Loved the video. Well written, well spoken. I loved it. Love to have you both on the show. Here's the thing. There's 4 new logs. I don't know. don't know how to transition back into that. There's 4 new logs. They're filling the niche with some of these logs. Interestingly enough, the rosewood log is now going to outdo redwood logs in terms of level requirement. So, will rosewood be more XP per hour? It's not going to be judged against redwoods. It's going to be judged against 1.5 mahoganies or whatever, the fastest XP in the game. They literally say it right here. This will give slightly more XP per hour than ironwood trees, but less logs per hour. Hardwood tree patch variants respawn slower to reduce the effectiveness of 1.5 tick methods. So they literally have it in mind. They're never going to make the XP rates higher than what they are for 1.5 tick teaks or 1.5 tick mahoganies, whichever one is quicker or more efficient. I'm not 100% sure. So no need to worry. All the XP people out there, which I feel like I should set this caveat right now. I doubt anything that comes out is going to be established as a new best in slot training method for the other 23 skills. I doubt that. Anything that comes out, this is where I feel people are going to get kind of hung up. And it's Monday, so thankfully we didn't immediately get egoed by a new blog, but who knows? There's still Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday to do that to us. I would be shocked if anything they release in sailing becomes a new best in slot training method for a skill that is not sailing. I'd be shocked. I really would. I think this game has gotten too comfortable and too afraid of breaking the XP rates per hour, as we've discussed. So no, rosewood logs are not going to be better than 1.5 tick hardwoods on Fossil Island. They're possibly going to be faster, possibly, than redwoods. But I think redwoods are designed to be AFK. So I'm not 100% sure. I'm not off the top of my head sure how all the like Forester's Ration plus the Crystal Felling Axe plus the Infernal Axe or whatever it is. I'm not sure how that's all going to interact. I'm not sure what that's going to look like XP wise. But I mean, new stuff. This is another caveat that I'm going to add. I'm excited for new resources. I was excited the last time we did one of these blogs for new resources. And I'm even more excited now that we get to look at them. Like, we've had the same 8 or 9 or 10 trees for 20 years. Let's get some new ones. I'm very excited. But yeah, Jatoba, Camphor, Ironwood, and Rosewood are the 4 new logs. You can use these for woodcutting, fletching, fire making, and construction. Presumably shipbuilding as well, but that's probably in the construction category too, which I would be interested. I wonder if they can add some new aesthetic stuff to the POH with these new logs. Could be fun. Not rosewood tables or people are going to lose their fucking minds. You can't use rosewood for a new construction method. You can't make rosewood tables or people will lose their minds. Can't do that. Because rosewood's presumably going to be higher than mahogany, right? They've already listed down at the bottom of the blog when it comes to the plank make prices or what have you, or how much it costs to make a plank. You'll notice you can't use these to construct anything in your POH. That's because we don't want to create new construction methods that exceed the XP per hour you get from building teak and mahogany furniture. Maybe Jagex, you can add something with rosewood to make it look cool, but add a stupid expensive component to it, like a magic stone, so people don't just spam it for the best XP per hour. Because I think technically the best XP in the game is demonic thrones, I think.
Which require onyxes, yeah?
They require a lot of shit, and they're very expensive to make. But it's the same as, like, if you have the money, the best smithing XP per hour is, like, DFSs or something. If you have the money, you can get ridiculous XP per hour, but that's a shitload of money to spend. So make a super expensive component and let us put rosewood in our house. Or maybe give us a new POH theme for sailing. Who knows? Maybe make our house on a beach and the border is the water. And we can, who knows? Could be fun. Yeah. New logs utilized in all sorts of new skills.
With some simply badass names, if I may add. Jatoba, Camphor, Ironwood, and Rosewood.
Pretty cool. They notably with fletching, I think, just to sort of like jump around a little bit, because it seems kind of relevant to talk about it while we are having the conversation about the wood. There's new blowpipes coming to the game.
To say that I'm excited is an understatement. I'm past the point in my account progression where this is relevant, but it adds a new level of accessibility into PVM that wasn't previously there with only having the toxic blowpipe. You give up some benefits by not using the toxic blowpipe, but these new like hardwood blowpipes are going to be sick as brick. I'm just gonna say that right now. We're gonna talk more about them later, but I'm very excited for the new blowpipes.
I mean, I'm talking about them now. I don't know.
Okay,
it seems
let's
relevant.
talk about it now.
We're talking about the wood. It seems relevant. I mean,
let me give myself a little scroll down here.
They're objectively worse than the toxic blowpipe. They can only hold up to Addy darts. That's true. I don't even know if this is mid game. This is an early game thing, but this is where it becomes an issue, right? Unless something drops rosewood logs, which surely it will. It's old school RuneScape. Surely something is going to drop that resource, right? Surely. That's going to be a bitch to get on a new account.
It's going to be a bitch to get as an Iron Man. Yeah. The GE will be stocked full of them.
I'm on an Iron Man because honestly, on a main account, it's probably not worth it. I got to level with you.
Well, if they're going to be very accessible and really cheap to make, it might be pretty accessible at level 45.
Michael's
to
been
get
on
yourself a camphor blowpipe.
He's been on a big accessibility kick lately. Talking about bingo.
Don't do that. Don't bring our marital fights into this show. Don't do that.
I mean, listen, it's 45 range. Okay, you know what?
A regular blowpipe is what?
It could be good for training. I think that's where this is going to see use. This is not going to be some like PVM superpower. This is going to be you bond up an alt and stick a camphor, ironwood, and rosewood blowpipe on it, respectively, and train it up on maybe gemstone crab. Who knows? You know?
Where's the damn blowpipe? Miscellaneous salamanders? No? Ranged?
Throne.
There
75, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, it's 75. So at level 45, you can shoot up to mithril darts, which will be more than adequate at 45 range. I think you're absolutely right. You throw this on an alt, you sit at the gemstone crab, you load it full of however many thousands of darts you can put in there, and you don't think about it anymore. And then every 5 levels, you get yourself a new one. We did mention it briefly, but I do want to expand on the fact that yes, this will be wildly irrelevant on an Iron Man once you get to 92 woodcutting and 84 fletching. Hopefully, you're past the point where you need a rosewood blowpipe. But for those who can access the GE or who have friends to sell them things in the game, they'll be very relevant.
Those who can access the GE is the strangest way to say mains ever. It's like you're trying to be.
I'm being inclusive.
I was gonna say you're trying to use like weird person first inclusive language to describe main accounts.
Because my main is my iron.
That's
we don't have to get down this.
true.
We've talked about this before. Okay, mains who access the GE. Caveat. Oh, thanks. Gary said he's with me on this one. Thanks, Gary.
Well, to all of the people who might be involved in old school RuneScape on the player level, there's more stuff coming for the players who like to build things with hammers and saws, sometimes known as construction. Because we're talking about the wood, we might as well talk about the planks as well. You're going to be able to upgrade your ship with the wood. That's the long and short of it, people. You're going to be able to upgrade your ship with the wood, oak, teak, mahogany, camphor, ironwood, and rosewood. That's what you're going to be using to upgrade your ship. It's going to look hot. What I'm curious about, though, is does this have a sailing level associated with it?
That's a better question, actually.
Because
yes, I would imagine.
It has to, right? Because I'm a main account. Can I just buy a shitload of rosewood planks and then smash out like the best ship in the game?
At level 1.
Same thing with the keel parts, right? Like 2277, baby. I can do all of this if it just requires like construction and smithing. Surely this has to have a sailing level tied to it, or else it's going to feel like they fucked up the progression. Like,
so I can speak to that just based on one sentence, right? It says ship upgrades. To me that sounds like you are progressed in your sailing level enough to upgrade your existing boat. Yes, you have access to different boats at different levels, but like now you are like 86 sailing and you've learned how to put together a rosewood hull, but you also need 80 for construction. Those are just numbers. Don't quote me on that. But like I think I would be very, very surprised if at level 1 sailing you could have a rosewood hull ship. And maybe the different types of ships that you have access to don't even accept those parts. So if we go back to the little blowpipe example that we just talked about, at 45 range, the camp for blowpipe can only accept up to mithril. So yes, you can make addy darts, you can make rune darts, but like it simply won't even accept them past a certain level. So,
which I imagine that could be a part of it. I imagine there's no point in having a redwood dragon metal plate dinghy. Probably not. Would be kind of funny if there was, because you flex your whole fleet that's just kitted out with the best stuff out there. That I think would be kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, but because it doesn't say anything, I don't know. Maybe it's a sailing level. Maybe you're right. Maybe it does have to do with like you need a sailing level to get the ship that provides the upgrades. But I don't know. I still feel like they're missing something. If there is not a sailing requirement for some of the stuff that they put in here, I feel like we're missing something. I know we're trying to integrate it in with other skills, and I think that for the most part, that's a good call, particularly with the construction and the smithing for the ship parts. I feel like there should be a sailing level. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll talk about it. There should have been, looking at the calendar, there should have been a modcast yesterday that maybe they addressed this. Go back and watch the modcast from yesterday. Perhaps they've addressed it. But I feel like that they're missing a really important piece of progression for all of the players like Michael and I who are already maxed, right? Who like, that's why like new quest requirements don't phase me. Like, what are the requirements? I'm like, don't care. I have them. And I hope that they have the foresight to keep with a sailing level to keep a progression system in place for this new skill. But hopefully this really only applies to the construction and to the smithing. Speaking of the smithing, Michael, your favorite skill is also getting new things. We are bouncing around this blog. If for some reason you are following along, we are not reading it word for word because it seems kind of redundant to bounce back and forth. Talk about wood, to talk about ore, to talk about planks, to talk about ore, to talk about coral, to talk about fish, to talk about, yeah, we're not doing all that. So what's up next, Michael?
Well, I don't know what you think my favorite skill is. Is it mining?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's what's next. Mining. Some sick new ores. We have lead at level 25 mining, rubium, which comes in splinters and geodes, and then nickel. So from 25 mining all the way up to 74, these are going to play a part in making different smithed parts for your boat. So Oxie kind of mentioned it earlier. We have ship parts. We have, we're going to jump down a little bit now again to the part where they talk about smithing. Now that you call it out, it is kind of weird that they laid this out like this, because you have mining at the top of the blog and then all the way at the bottom, then they talk about smithing.
Thank you.
Instead of mining and then like, hey, as a good segue into what you can use with these new materials, here's smithing. So with the smithing, it's going to come down to cannonballs. And I'm actually really excited about this cannonball thing. Whether or not you can use them in your dwarf cannon, I have no idea. But in your cannon on your ship, they're going to have different abilities.
You know, if you listen to the No Monkey video, he did say that the new cannonballs cannot be used in your cannon. Excellent job, by the way.
Did he say that?
He did. The new types of cannonballs Why was that? Why would you tune that part out? It's weird.
I don't know. I just, So you'll have 2 new flavors of cannonball. Their words, not mine. Chain shot cannonballs have the same max hit as the corresponding basic cannonball and will stop your enemies in their tracks. And then you have incendiary. I said that wrong and weird. Incendiary? That's the way you say it. Incendiary cannonballs also deal the same max hit as their basic counterparts, but they also apply the burn effect to targets. Spicy. Now, you're an avid listener to people talking, right? You hear incendiary and you also think of water, and you probably think that's weird, just like I do. So we're going to have to wrap our brains around that one, how we apply a burn effect to creatures in the water, because presumably you're not going to be standing offshore, shooting things on land with your cannonballs. You're going to be like firing it at sharks and the kraken and the things that you fight in the water with your cannon. So where they got this one, I have no idea. Oxie just posted a picture, which is on screen now. Yes, fire does burn on water, but as soon as that bitch sinks, generally the fire goes out because the opposite of water is fire. Now, Legendary brings up a good point. If these cannonballs are infused with extra special things like oil, then yes, they would burn in the water, thus making them more special than just like fire.
So looking on Google, fire can burn underwater. It seems like magnesium is the key. Magnesium torches is a bright source made from magnesium, which can burn underwater in all weather conditions. Used for emergency illumination for railroad application. Used in the 1950s for scuba diving as well. So magnesium torches burn underwater. So perhaps these are loaded with some sort of magnesium. Also, it's a video game with magic. So let's not get too pedantic over that. Ships burn on the surface, and there are scientific ways that fire can burn underwater. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know how that would work, but why not? Reminds me of that SpongeBob bit. It must not understand the physical limitations of life underwater. Well, might as well throw these in the fire. Anyways, cool.
I like the fact that they're adding new ore. We have a lot of ore already, and we had a lot of metal in the game. But I think having more specialized ore that is specifically for things like the rubium is to make these, like the rubium splinters, is to make these new cannonballs, these incendiary cannonballs. It's interesting. It's not just like, hey, there's a new material in a shop that you have to, right click use on your cannonball. Because while we have cool metals and ores and different things in this game, I do like that they're expanding it to include other things. And like tying in mining, never a bad thing.
There's one particular puzzle room in a raid that I think would beg to differ, but I don't know.
So lead is going to be slightly higher XP than iron rocks outside of the mining guild, less XP than iron rocks inside of the mining guild. Thank you for that. So thanks, Jagex. I think that goes without saying, right? Anyway, they say it's going to be an interesting alternative way for those who want to train their sailing on the early game mining journey. So you only need 25 mining, and you'll get if you smith it, you get a lead bar out of 2 ore. And then the rubium comes in either splinters or geodes. The splinters are stackable, which I think is really cool. We don't have many things in this game that you can mine that are stackable. We have soda ash, not even soda ash, volcanic ash, and the
TF Earth salts, infernal shale,
the salts,
salts from Weiss, infernal shale.
I haven't done infernal shale.
Stars.
Stars are technically.
I couldn't tell you. 2277, baby. I ain't training that shit. I couldn't tell you.
So the splinters are going to scale similar to how the volcanic ash scales with your mining level. So the higher mining, the more splinters. And at 74 mining, you have nickel, which is going to be mined similar to pay dirt in the Motherlode mine. Sorry if that was triggering. I forgot to say trigger warning. Or the baronite in the Camdozel mines. They say it's going to be AFK, but much lower XP than MLM, which is fine. And it should be profitable. Higher level version of lead will be used in shipbuilding. I'm fine with lower XP for more AFK. I think we've kind of proven that with stars. People are fine with getting 20k XP per hour if you only have to click once every 7 minutes. So if the resource is going to be usable and at least you can make a profit from it, I think less XP per hour for something that is more AFK, but also usable is a very, very good trade-off. So I'm happy to see it.
Yeah. Interesting to see if it's profitable, what the actual, like, how much nickel you get per hour. You know, a profit could be a lot of things. Like, I don't know. Profit could be you have to combine it to make the bars to make it profitable. Profit could sit at like you get 200 GP per bar. Like, it could be something that isn't crazy, like adamant ore. Mining any raw ore technically is profitable. There is no profit loss when you mine raw ore. There are ores that don't give you a lot of money. Funny enough, gold doesn't give you a lot of money when you sell it, but adamant sure does. Mithril sure does. Runite sure as hell does. You know, I like that because they know they're making it profitable, they're putting a Motherlode Mine-esque, it's not going to be fought over like Runite rocks will be. Granted, I mean, that said, with 74 mining, it's stacking up to be at adamant level, right? Adamant is 70, not 75. So, I mean, it's a little bit better than adamant. I would bet a super moderate price per ore, maybe a little bit more per bar, but copper is negligible. So it's not like you're breaking the bank buying copper ore to put in these things. Copper and nickel, it's a real thing. I did not know that. I looked it up. Sometimes I think the words they make up are fake, but I just look it up just because, and it turns out it's what they make $half out of. $half US coins. It's an alloy of copper and nickel, shockingly enough. Yeah. Oh, look at that. No, it's not. It's all sorts of stuff. It's Indian rupees, Swiss francs, all sorts of currencies. Look at that. The more you know.
And you need 74 smithing to make it as well. These bars will be tradable. So if you are of the group that can use the GE, you can just buy them. But it is not a low requirement. 74 smithing, not easy to get unless you have access to the GE and you can just spam gold bars. But 74 smithing, I think that like it's low in the totem pole in my mind because of the copper element. But the fact that you need such a low level for copper and such a high level for nickel, combining that bar, yeah, it puts it back in its place, essentially. I was trying to see if rubium is real. Rubium. It's an RS3 apparently.
Well, then maybe that's the tie-in.
Neat.
There's rubidium, which is a chemical element.
Rubidium. Maybe it's inspired by like rubidium.
I mean, rubium is an ore that players can only mine deep within the Witch Haven dungeon at the Witch Haven mine during and after the Kenneth's Concerns quest. And it's used to make fishing explosives, actually.
So in the world of Gillinor, it is the magnesium, essentially.
Apparently.
Love it. Legendary says, man is scared to say main now. I'm doing it just to give Oxie a reason to roll his eyes. So it's for no other reason that I look him in the eyes and I say it, and he goes,
Is that weird quasi-orgasmic face what I make? Can that be your thumbnail this week?
Maybe. We'll think about it. Up next, though, Ox is going to talk about his second favorite skill in the game and the things that you get from it, which are going to be very, very useful. I'm very excited for this.
I don't know why we're jabbing at that. Man, I love fishing. Like, unironically. I know I say it as a joke, but...
You like fishing in real life.
I do like fishing in real life. Fishing can get boring on a maxing grind when you're racing a fucking calculator, which, by the way, I have thought about it. I did not get a break after maxing. I think it just hit me, like, it finally caught up to me, hit me like a truck, that, like, I did not get a break after maxing because we did maxing, which was an entire year of not taking it too seriously, then taking it really seriously, and then bingo, and then leagues, and then just not taking enough time off. And I'm just like, fuck it. I don't even want to play RuneScape. I don't care. I'm not going away forever, but I just don't care. Which is a really bad time to do it with a new sailing blog, a new area expansion. And I don't know if you saw, Michael, yesterday we broke the highest concurrent player count on just a random Sunday. We've set a new record on August 3rd. So
It's insane.
yeah, we're in the golden age of RuneScape. People are just playing like crazy. We got to get some WoW streamers on the show. If you guys know some WoW streamers, if you guys are WoW players, let us know. We'd like to talk to a couple of you guys and just see what your experience has been like coming over. But yeah, fishing. We've got lantern fishing and deep sea trawling, 2 new ways to fish. I have never done either one of these things in real life, so I couldn't attest to how fun they are, but I imagine they're a decent enough time, if not a little boring, because you're doing them for work. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new kinds of fish. 2 with 2 new kinds of squid, raw sword tip squid and jumbo squid. And then 6 new fish with levels ranging from 69 up to 91, which it's possible that at 91 fishing, that is the highest requirement of any fish in the game. I believe it is the highest. It is tied with greater sirens in aerial fishing. And I know you're thinking to yourself, but wait, we have that stupid diary step. Not the same thing. That's a way to catch a shark. This is the tied for the highest level species.
I'll give it to you.
With the raw marlin.
I'll give it to you.
I know we talked about trawling last time. It's not like you're going to be able to fish for these things. It's going to be kind of akin to like a manta rays and sea turtles, only not as miserable as fishing trawler, hopefully. One can hope, right? The cool thing about the fish, despite the fact that they're new fish, which is like, I don't know, cool. All the food that you get from them have neat little effects. So scrolling down here to cooking, all of the fish, because it has a higher level, it all gives like not shit healing. Like I was concerned, you know when Hunter Meats came out and it was like, hey, this food heals for 4 HP. I'm like, what's the fucking point? But now even the minimum level fish, not counting the crabs, of course, because those take 21 and 48 cooking respectively. The squids heal for 15. The sword tip squids, which is the lowest of the new fish that we're getting. Notably, some of these do get some cool effects. The haddock can overheal you up to 10 hit points, so the poor man's angler. But it also heals 18, so it's not even like, it's a poor man's angler, but like, it ain't too bad. You know, the yellowfin tuna restores 20% run energy. That's probably going to have some sort of niche somewhere, which will be cool. The halibut is a new combo food. Friendship ended with Karambwans. Halibut is my new best friend. Bluefin tuna restore 5 prayer points. Again, that's going to have a niche use somewhere. And then finally, the marlin is the highest single bite of food in the game. It's outdoing the manta ray and the angler. We finally have a new best in slot. Friendship ended with the manta ray. Marlin is my new best friend. So I got to level with you. The day sailing comes out, you want to make some money, you get your ass to trawling, because these new resources are going to be too good to not use. Because these are resources that, like, yes, other resources affect other areas of the game, right? I think the food and the potions are going to be the biggest things from sailing at the moment, right? We don't know what's coming from combat. They're the biggest things that you get from directly training sailing that have a significant impact in the end game, right?
I would
Marlin,
agree. Yeah.
Marlin are going to be expensive as shit.
What do you think? Because right now, what, a manta ray sitting around a K, 1,000. I don't know the exact price.
I would
but if I had to
think
guess,
within, I mean,
let's
obviously
see, a
within the
manta
first,
ray.
whenever they first start to hit the market in bulk, right? I would bet for the first month they're maybe 5K a pop.
Holy. A manta ray is 3,700 GP each.
Yeah. And how much is an angler? 20 something? Anglers are 17. Mantas are 30, 36, you said? Mantas are
37.
39. Mantas are 4K a pop. So I would bet the marlins are at least 5K, with the halibuts maybe being the same as an angler, if not more, because you figure blondes are looking
630.
Yeah.
Currently.
I would think
sharks
they're about
are 800 ish.
They're about 3 times the price of blondes. So I would absolutely get on the marlin train. 93 cooking to cook them, which is going to be useful if you have going to be a bitchin' moneymaker. Cooking raw marlin, I'm pretty sure, and then 91 fishing to catch. So
caveat. Day 1, we may not see a single marlin.
I'm not saying
84 sailing to catch them.
I'm saying when they hit the market in bulk.
When they hit the market, yes.
Also, where do you see that? Because I know that's from the other blog, isn't it?
Scroll up.
It's in the other blog.
It's in the fishing section. You scroll down to the cooking section.
Yeah. I mean, still, you need the cotton trawling net, which you'll get from crafting, which is another cool thing. You can craft nets now with new materials. 84 sailing. We're probably going to see it in the first week. I would bet we see the first 99 in the first week. 100%. So 100%. I think, but when I say they hit the market regularly, I mean like the first couple marlin that get sold are going to be 50K a pop. Like they're going to be, it's like the first shadow. Remember the first shadow was like 5.8 bill when it first came out. Like when they are regularly in circulation, they're going to be expensive.
When the supply and demand has leveled out,
they are going to be expensive.
Know.
I mean,
I could see a single marlin going for 10K on average.
I don't know if they could do that consistently. If I'm wrong, that's both good and bad, because you can make money doing that. And like friendship ended with Rune Dragon alt. Marlin alt is my new best friend. How many times can I make this joke this episode? Because holy shit, it's going to be... That's the thing. If you're wondering, like, how can 2 HP make that big of a price difference? When it comes to the end game, when it comes to the ultra rich PVM end game community, they don't care. Money's not an object.
Literally.
Right?
Literally.
So
10 bill. Like people have 10 bill in their account. I got what buddies. Is 10K versus 5K.
I got buddies who use sandfuse serums instead of prayer pots everywhere they go. They'll rip Inferno speed runs with inventories of sandfuse serums and divine bastion potions because they got the money. They don't care. Yeah. So I think there will be a very high demand for these, even if you think 2 HP or 4 HP, which I think arguably the halibut is a bigger deal.
Agreed.
Arguably it's still the deep net. A bigger deal.
You need. Hold on, that one's not the deep net. Halibuts are going to be. Oh yeah, no deep sea trawling. With 83 fishing. I feel like the halibut will probably be more useful in a money-making sense than the marlin.
They're both going to be useful, but I mean, like, look at the difference between manta rays and cromblons. We're probably going to get a similar price difference, just amped up, right?
Yeah.
If marlins level out at 6K a piece, halibuts are going to be 15, 16, 1700 a piece, because that extra 4 HP on a tiki is going to save your life. That extra 4 HP on that combo when you're getting attacked by Zulrah, even if you're just using manta rays, that's still 42 HP. 44 if you're using marlin. What a bruise heal? 18? We're talking like near the 60s, right? Let me see. OSRS Sarah Brew. Yeah, 16. So 16, 24, 20. That's 60 even.
Woo! In one tick.
Yeah. 60 hit points in one tick with a brew at 99 HP. That's pretty good. You gotta admit, that's pretty good. So deep sea trawling is going to be where the money's at. If I was a betting man, deep sea trawling is going to be where the money is at. In addition to that, there's also hunting. Hunting is not as fleshed out because Obviously, they've given hunting a lot of love over the last couple of years. So hunter, you get 3 new types of crabs. It's a whole new type of hunter. So you get to set traps for crabs. You set locations and bait them with fish offcuts, which we talked about in the last episode. Not the last episode, last time we talked about sailing. It's a timed thing. So I imagine it's going to be useful for, I don't know. I can't even envision what they are talking about here. After a set amount of times, crab will make a dash for the baited trap. Red and blue crabs will move after 15 ticks, and rainbow crabs will move after 25 ticks. With precise timing, you can achieve smooth cycles of setting, baiting, and harvesting traps, resulting in consistent hunter XP. Okay, I think I understand it now. It'll be A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. You set, collect, or set and bait, set and bait, set and bait, set and bait, collect and reset, collect and reset, collect and reset. Just go in a circle with the crabs, assuming they're not in a shit spot. Do you think they're going to add a hunter rumor for these things?
That'd be kind of cool.
Kind
I
of
don't
cool
see
if
why
they did.
not.
I don't see why not. You're right. I don't see why not.
Although there are very specific like creatures that they do have rumors for. So not every single creature in the game is a hunter rumor
I know.
eligible. So what if we get a new hunters guild that's on an island?
I
said what if.
I don't know why we would, but neat. Gameplay note. This is where that crab bit gets interesting, right? We've intentionally structured crab hunting to be understandable and highly predictable. The consistent spawning intervals ensure you're rewarded with skillful gameplay. Trap setting is 2 ticks if you're doing it manually, 3 ticks if you're doing it automatically, which I imagine is just clicking versus using it on an object. Harvesting is 1 tick and moving 1 tick. Harvesting is 1 tick and moving between traps is 2 ticks. So you get yourself into a 5 tick cycle, you can possibly get a lot of money quickly, possibly. Or not a lot of money quickly, a lot of crab quickly. Could be a lot of money quickly. I don't know. I don't know how expensive these components are going to be. But if it's good hunter XP per hour at the higher level, it could be a nice rival to Chins. Definitely not better XP per hour. Don't get your hopes up for better XP per hour than Chins, but it could be a nice high XP per hour alternative that doesn't involve you being in the wilderness, right? They say XP rates are stable and fixed. That means that crab hunting will be much more relevant when you unlock it and when you gain access to it. Will fall off over time when compared to training methods where XP is determined by hunter level. So maybe it's not going to compete with Black Chins at all.
Well, I mean,
Though
you can
with
do this starting at
Hunter-
21. You can do this starting at 21. You don't even touch chins until 63. So, I mean, birdhouses are going to be your main hunter method for the early game, but this gives you an alternative while also potentially making you some money because the crab meat that you get will be used in Herblore, which is a semi depleting resource over time. I say semi.
Yes.
It's actually a depleting resource.
Yeah, I was gonna say it does just fully deplete. It goes away. I think that it's fun. They're adding new hunter stuff. Cool. You can also cook these crabs with the highest rainbow crab healing, I think 19 hit points. So if you have a low hunter level, I'm trying to look at this from the lens of someone who's just going around exploring, having a good time, because 99 everything. But that notwithstanding, right? The next thing we should probably talk about before we talk about the potions is the farming. I'm very excited for the farming, but Michael, I think you should talk about it because I've been rambling for a while.
So, caveat to this, there's
Good
a lot
talk.
here, and if you're excited about it, just talk about it.
You've not read it,
Because-
have you?
It's a lot.
You haven't read it, have you?
I haven't skimmed this part.
Oh my God. Well, I was going to have Michael read this part, but he didn't skim it yet. Again, they talk about it in the video. I don't know why you weren't paying attention to the video, Michael. Flax, hemp, cotton, and the new hardwood trees. Cool. That's totally fine. I'm all for that. Use the hops patches. Use the hardwood patches. That's cool. Coral farming is going to be cool as shit. I don't know why I'm as excited for coral farming as I am, but I am. I can't explain it. coral farming is going to be good shit. So they've got elkhorn, pillar, and umbral. Apparently, you grow them. They start as frags, so like fragments, maybe, and then they grow up to be mature. They've got an entirely new kind of patch underwater, looks like on Conch Island. And these coral nurseries are pretty cool. I don't know what the exact harvesting rate is going to be for each of these. I imagine it's fair. It says it's going to take 2 hours and 40 minutes for the coral to grow, regardless of which kind. So this is something you do maybe like every 3 farm runs, you go check your coral. They have payment options with giant seaweed, elkhorn, and pillar coral, protecting the 3 kinds of coral respectively. That's good. I like this. I like this a lot. I love that we're having underwater conservation and growing coral. I like that. I hope they, I don't know, I want them to put something in there like, yeah, obviously you can't harvest all the coral because that's not really possible, but whatever you don't harvest, we'll just put out to sea and it will plant itself somewhere so our coral reefs regenerate, you know? Make it like a fantasy video game where the environment isn't dying. That'd be cool. You can grow new hops, flax, hemp, and cotton. You use that to make bolts of linen, canvas, and cotton that you use to presumably make sails and fishing nets. I'm not as excited about that. I can't say I care that much.
Caveat. Why you should
caveat?
be excited.
Why should I be excited?
Because we just went on an entire hype fest about the new deep sea trawling. These will be pivotal in that method because I'm assuming these are going to be items that deplete. Your net will break. You have to put a new one in there. So every so often, while you're trawling, you have to re-put in a new net. And these will be a new resource that you can make and grow and buy and sell to aid those people who are stocking the shelves with the marlin and the halibut.
This could also be a very good moneymaker for farming if you're growing cotton. Only takes 71 farming. And I mean,
it's very short timer, hour and 40 minutes. Also, flax kind of sucks to gather. But if you can just on a cycle every hour farm it, then you have a new reason to fill your new bowstring spool that can hold 10,000 flax or 10,000 bowstrings.
I guess. I don't know if I want to craft them bitches, but I guess. You also get flax from everywhere else, but I don't know. Sure. I suppose you're right.
Legendary says you can get a lot of flax from the fletching activity. Well, shit. Never mind.
You get a lot of flax from everywhere, Michael. A lot of flax from everywhere. Do you think the nets are going to be degradable?
That's what I think. Because there's no way that they just give you one net and it doesn't tear, it doesn't break. Like you have to repair the nets in the fishing trawler game with rope. So odds are you're going to be having to stock nets in your inventory as well as making the trips when you bank. Like for every so how many fish, then you have to get a new net.
So for reference, the only other activity that requires a major GP input that nets break that I can think of is drift netting. What are drift nets made with? Let me look. OSRS.
They're made with drifts.
Well, they're made with a kind of hop. They're made from jute fiber. Jute is level 13. It only takes 2 jute fiber, and they are 2,700 a piece for drift nets. If these nets for deep sea trawling regularly break, cotton is going to be kind of expensive, or at least the cotton nets are going to be expensive. Marlin is going to be expensive as fuck. Drift net fishing doesn't give you any other resource that's not already accessible somewhere else in the game. Now, the other thing that we have to consider here, because we're like, marlin are going to be expensive, but we do have to take into account that like they are going to have drop tables for the new PVM that comes out with sailing. There's going to be a lot of new PVM. There could be a new Slayer Master. There could be new, like, just like good XP per hour combat opportunities, like crabs, but for sailing. There could be all sorts of new bosses that drop all sorts of sailing related loot. And then that's not to mention, are other bosses going to get their drop tables tweaked? Is something like Kraken going to get some sailing related resources for loot? Who knows? You know, I'm not saying it will or it won't or it should or shouldn't. I'm just saying it's a possibility. PVM is also going to filter some of this stuff into the game too. And if something like these nets break, damn, we're going to be some expensive booty, which could be some really good drops if you get a cotton drop. I don't know.
Yeah. Seeds. They'll most likely drop the seeds. But it would be a huge miss for Jagex not to put like these new fish on PVM drop tables. You can get manta rays from Zulrah. At least you used to. I don't know if they changed it with the shark chum or whatever. But you can get high level fish from high level PVM. So imagine Hydra gets a little bit of Merlin love and you get like 10 raw Merlins from Hydra or something.
Merlins? Also
Marlins.
Hydras? See, I wasn't going to bring it up that you were mispronouncing it before the show. And then you had to go and mispronounce it on the show after you said thanks for catching that. Because I would have gotten flamed for calling them Merlins. I'm sorry.
Merlins is just objectively a cooler name. Anyway.
Adding Merlins to the drop table of the alchemical Hydra would absolutely be fucked. That boss is too much money as it is. It's a good thing.
Well,
don't change it,
like what high level PVM?
Something new. We haven't seen it in the blog yet. It has to be something new. Give us a new high level Slayer monster. It's got an 86 Slayer requirement or something like that. High level Slayer boss that you fight via sailing. I don't know. Maybe that drops Merlins. I've got no idea.
Are you just saying Merlins now?
Yes, I am just saying Merlins now.
Okay, cool. Can we talk about how long it takes for the camphor, ironwood, and rosewood to grow?
It's not that far off.
85 hours.
That is on par with other hardwood trees.
Is it really?
Yeah, because I looked it up. I'm like, damn, 96 hours is a lot. Mahoganies are like 92 hours, so they're not.
I mean, a regular redwood takes about 90 hours, I think. Maybe?
Different kind of wood.
Also true, but similar level is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but it's a different patch entirely. That's part of what they brought up of like, why aren't we using Arctic pine and redwood? Because they're not hardwoods.
They're softwoods.
Yeah.
But what are the corals going to be used for?
Coral potions, which is a great integration for this new farming. We're not adding new herbs. We're adding an entirely new main resource. I think this is awesome.
Ding.
We're using the coral to make these potions. As long as they don't make them look fucking weird, like barbarian mixes, to denote that they're different.
Well, do you see the little icons? I don't think they will.
I hope not. I sure hope not, because I feel like that would look ugly as shit.
So let's get into it. Starting at level 49, you get the anti-odor salt, which is a stackable salt that is automatically consumed to smoke a hunter trap when setting one up. Where do you smoke traps?
It's a shame that it's a hunter mechanic. It is. It's a hunter mechanic.
Who is using that?
Hunter's broken, so they might be fixing hunter, or maybe they already fixed it. Because like you're supposed to smoke like box traps and shit. So
what?
People don't like sell it. I don't know.
Listen, at least it's stackable. I'll give them that. So you need an elk horn as the primary ingredient. So instead of an herb, as Oxie just mentioned, you need an elk horn as the primary, and then a crab paste as the secondary. And that makes an anti-odor salt. At level 56, you have an anti-bleed tonic. It cures bleeding and heals 5 hit points, but it does not prevent bleed from being reapplied. So it's not like bleed immunity, it's just bleed heal. And that takes an elk horn as well. And this one's going to require a squid paste as the secondary. This one's pretty cool. It's the new highest fishing boost. So instead of 91 for the diary, you're going to have the super fishing potion, which requires 62 Herblore and it's going to boost your fishing by 6. You're going to grab your pillar coral and a haddock eye as your 2 main ingredients.
So Median brought up a really nice point that I like, that as they add new stuff, they're slowly integrating stew out of the picture, because stew is just a very old and kind of pain in the ass way to get a level up. So you still could stew a boost, or you could buy a super fishing potion. Same thing with the super hunter potion. I really like that this is how they're doing it.
Yeah. It's a guaranteed boost, which is always going to be preferable to a stew, which can just like ruin your day. It's ruined my day before, and if you're an old school RuneScape player, stews and spicy stews have ruined your day, guaranteed. Next up, though, we have at 66 Herblore, we're going to be able to create an extreme energy potion, which restores your run energy by 40%. And that takes an umbreal coral and a yellow tuna fin. 40% run energy. I still don't think that they'll be used, if I'm being honest.
In the low level, they will. This is so close to Stams. Well, are Stams 70? I think Stams are 70, aren't they? Stams are 70, so it's a nice holdover. Is it? No, it's not. Our Stams aren't 70. Stams are... Am I stupid? Stams are 77. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Stams are 77. So this will be a nice holdover until you get to Stams 40% on an Iron Man. But to
like
us,
the accounts, who's going to be taking an the thing that's nice about stamina potions is it has, yes, it restores your run energy, but then it tops you up for a set amount of time. Whereas you could go through 40 run energy in about 10 seconds. That's not real. That's just me bitching.
Not after
and
the
then
run
you have
changes.
4, 8, 12, 16. You have 160 run energy, 160% run energy with 1 potion. It might not be bad. Granted, it's better than a super energy potion. Thank you, Jagex. But if you have Umbreal, it's going to be expensive, number 1, because it's used in a very, very high tier brew. And then the yellow tuna fin might be a bitch to get. I don't know. We'll see.
This is not a potion for people who play accounts that can utilize the Grand Exchange from time to time. This is not a potion for main accounts. This is an Iron Man potion, 100%. Don't shake your head, no. This is 100% an Iron Man potion. It's 11 levels away from a stamina pot. It's an upgrade to the energy potions to hold you over. And the best part is, these don't utilize regular energy potions. I have 860 super energy potions sitting in my bank on my iron right now. I'm looking at them, and I only have 59 staminas because of the amylase crystal bottleneck. This doesn't require staminas or herbs or any known secondaries. This just requires umbral coral, which can be grown at, what level was umbral again? 77 farming, which Iron Men should have if they're training their Herblore up, right? 77 farming is extremely doable. It's not that difficult. I don't have it because this game mode sucks, but if you actually play Iron Man, you should have 77 farming. And then if you're a main, extended stamina potions are going to be fucking expensive. You want to know why? Because all the super rich HLC endgame players are no longer going to use staminas. They always say a joke is only good for 3 times the rule of 3s, but just in case you weren't aware the first time, friendship ended with stamina potion. Extended stamina potion is my new best friend. So, I don't know. I feel like this is an Iron Man pot, and that's why they're putting it in.
Sure. And like if we're just talking about Herblore training, it's not the worst, right? Because you can grow the main ingredient at 77 farming. Granted, again, you're going to want to save this main ingredient for later, but that's beside the point. And then maybe the yellow tuna fin is not the worst. You get it as just an abundant resource from like deep sea trawling. Who knows?
Here's the question. How are we going to get the seed starters for the coral? I guess because that's the other, like, you're like, oh, you're going to want to save that for later. I'm like, Michael, just grow more. It's not like an herb where you have to get rare seeds like Raynars and Snapdragons. And I'm like, damn, son of a bitch, how are we going to grow the coral?
Yeah, where do you get the frags
where are the
at?
seeds? Where are the frags going to come from? Probably going to come from drops. They're probably going to come from PVM drops.
Maybe you get them as an offshoot from the crab hunting or something. Or PVM, who knows? Maybe they'll put coral frags on Dagonoth drop tables or something. Because it's thematic.
Maybe. I wouldn't
Dagonoths are water creatures, right?
I wouldn't be super keen on the idea that they're going to be revamping most drop tables. The only one that I think could be worth it is Kraken.
Yeah.
Because it is an oceanic monster. That's the only one, though. I don't think they're going to play with the old drop tables and add a bunch of new resources, because that'll piss people off, and they really want to avoid that.
Temporos.
Could be another decent one.
Could be fun.
I don't know.
67 Hunter. We can't skip over this. 67 Herblore. I said Hunter. 67 Herblore is the Super Hunter potion, which boosts your Hunter by 6. Funny enough, there is a method for using a Hunter potion to access Herblore early for pretty decent rates. So now you'll be able to access Herblore at 74 Hunter, which is pretty good.
I wonder if they've made Herblore preemptively scale down in XP, or do you think it's going to be locked at 77 or whatever it is? Because this is the highest Hunter boost we now have in the game. So 74 is the lowest level you can access Herblore. I wonder what the XP is going to be, because it scales up, but it also scales down. It's just a weird math question. I don't know if they've...
But your visible level is 80, right? Your physically boosted level is 80, so it should be giving you the rates you would have at 80. This requires a pillar coral and a crab paste. It doesn't specify which crab. So I'm assuming the red and the blue crab will give you crab paste, and then the rainbow crab will give you a different paste, because they do specify. Oxie already talked about this one, but at 85 Herblore, you can combine a Marlin scale with a stamina potion, an existing stamina potion, and that's going to give you the extended stamina potion, which will 70% reduction in run energy depletion for 4 minutes, up from 2 minutes on a regular stamina. Bonus, each dose adds 2 charges to the Ring of Endurance, and it consumes 2 charges from the ring. Pretty freaking neat. Oxie just posted a picture, and at 77 Hunter, you get slightly reduced XP. Actually, not even slightly. You get 1860 per catch, and at 80, you get 1950. So it's nearly 100 XP less at 77 Hunter. That's weird. Okay. Because I guess the current Hunter potion is a +3. So that makes sense.
So they thought about it. Presumably,
what are we going to get? It's going to be 16 something?
Presumably at 76, it'd be 1830. At 75, it would be 1800. And at 74, it would be 1770. Assuming that scaling applies below 77. Interested to see if that's a change they make. Not a change I care about. Again, I got 99 everything. I don't give a shit about trying to get to Herblore early. But just a fun little, a neat little, fact. Like a little tidbit,
fun.
You know? A little fun little tidbit.
You can try it out. Finally, with the Herblore expansion, we have at 89 Herblore, the new brew on the block, the Armadillo brew, which requires an Umbreal coral and a rainbow crab paste. So 2 of the big boy ingredients. This one's going to heal your hit points for 10% +2 and raise your range level by 10% +4. This will reduce your attack, strength, magic, and defense by 10% +2. Oxie, question for you. What do you think? Is this going to be Friendship with Brews gone? Sarah Brews? No? Okay.
The only place I can think of that this could possibly end Friendship with Brews is Kriara.
Because it's reducing your magic level, and your defense, which are 2 things you generally use in conjunction with range. So for in the Inferno, you use the magic, and for other PVM like raids, you use magic. So it's you don't want to it's like a weird offset because you can only hit your heart once every what, 5
I mean,
minutes, 7
this
minutes?
is not the. Let you don't take this if
Is this a
you're
pre-pot?
doing. It could be a pre-pot. Honestly, I gotta level with you. This is useful at Kriara. This is why they made it. I would bet, because if you've done a lot of Kriara, you know that occasionally Kree's like, "Hey, you're wearing reinforced Missouri." You and hits you for like a 30, and all of his minions are just battering you too. So if you don't take a shadow, right, which is even worse if you take a shadow, because Kree will just beat the shit out of you and all the minions will too. But if you're using range at Kriara, which most Iron Men are, you need something to restore your range level, and range pots serve no purpose than to take a fucking inventory spot. So 10% plus 2, if that's rounded up, that's 12 hit points at 99. That's 12 HP, which is 4 HP less than a brew. 4 HP plus range level by 10% plus 4. This is actually, I believe, higher than the current range potion. So the current range potion, I think, boosts 12 outright, and 10% plus 4 at 99 is like 13 or 14. If they round up, it's
Nice.
14, which is the highest range boost currently available in the game. So it could be a pre-pot angle. You stick this in with your chug jug or whatever you have. But this is, you use this in place of brews, possibly at Kriara. Otherwise, I would not replace a brew with this.
Question: would you replace a range potion? Because if a range potion only gives you so much, then at times when you would be hitting a restore anyway for the brew, you say, "Oh, I'm just going to Armadyl brew, get your range level up, hit the restore, and then you hit yourself with a brew." Wait, the brew lowers your range level, doesn't it? Frick.
That's like saying I'm gonna leave super combats behind because I'm taking Sarah brews with me and just take super attack and super strength, because it reduces all the other stats by a pretty hefty amount.
10% plus 2.
Like it's thematic to brews, I guess. It's thematic. It's thematic to Sarah, to the other brews, Zamrock brews, Saradomin brews. I get it. I don't know if this serves the exact same purpose. I mean, brews at least get the benefit of you get the extra defense so you don't get hit as hard. I don't think this is dead content. I think you could take one of these, like, where do you take one of these? I mean, you take one to Kree, maybe you take, if you don't have a shadow, I think that's the caveat. If you don't take a shadow to Muspa, you take this to Muspa. If you don't have a shadow, you take this to Zulrah. If you don't have a shadow, or you don't have melee, you take this to Vorkath, perhaps. But it's not going to be as good as like a Divine Bastion some places. That's the other thing, because this is not a divine pot, right? Like, is it better in the long term to have the plus 14, then the plus 13, then to whittle down? Or is it better to have 5 minutes of the plus 12? I don't know. We'll have to run the numbers. And by we, I mean somebody else who's not me, because I ain't doing all that. Thogger, she brings up a good point. Is it perhaps meant for future content, if not useful now? That is entirely possible. This is another piece with these combat pots that we don't really talk about in the moment. It could be something that we've yet to see, where this is very useful, where like you just need to be able to hit harder and more often, as opposed to having high defense, you know? Like maybe there's a DPS check somewhere in the game, and with a sailing related PVM. I don't know.
I think in terms of like where we're going to be seeing this be useful, it may just extend trips. Because in a world where you would take a couple of range pots or a couple of bastions, and then the rest brews and the rest restores, you just trade it out for an Armadyl brew, and then you don't have to take the range potions. You're going to be using the brews and the restores to counteract each other anyway. So you would, you're right. Everywhere that you would use range where you're not using the other style, it's going to be fine because you have the restore to counteract all of the things that are being drained.
If it's range and melee, this is fine. If it's range and melee, you Armadyl brew, restore, super combat.
Yeah.
Because with the super combat, you still get the defense bonuses. So like at Tob, for example, you could bring
True.
one of these to Tob if you're a ranger, right?
Yeah.
This cannot be used in conjunction with an imbued heart. It just can't be.
Which would suck.
It's the same thing
sucks.
with brews and the imbued heart, wherever it's the not the problem of the armadillo brew, it's the problem of the imbued heart, right? So what do? I don't know.
What do? I think this is the last part.
2 more notable things to talk about here.
2 more.
Thieving. Have you skimmed Thieving?
I have not skimmed Thieving, but I do remember it from the video. So this is one thing where I was paying attention because I don't think he who shall not be named was talking. Maybe he was.
No,
I don't know.
You mean no monkey?
That we just said he shouldn't be named.
I don't know why.
Rage bait successful. Thieving, like a variety of content, which I will never be mad at thieving content. It's like the weirdest skill to be named, but also one of the most useful in the game. Because not only does it provide a decent way to train the skill in itself, but you have resources that come from these, notably pirates' chests.
Yarg.
Starting at level 33, you have a rusty pirate's chest. Then up to 54 is a tarnished pirate's chest. And then finally at level 76, you have your reinforced pirate's chest.
I like. Damn, this is how you get the frags. Damn.
There we go. So at level 76, you have the reinforced, and with this you get coins, gems, bars, runes, and the umbral coral frags.
Umbral.
They also have steel. Umbral. You also have steal through adamant cannonballs, which is cool, and a chance at a hard clue scroll. Man, so, I love this.
These chests could be really good if they're like the lizard man chests in Mulk versus the chest on Castle Wars Island. That chest makes me want to die on Castle Wars Island. I hate that chest. Or Soul Wars Island, rather. Soul Wars. Hate that chest. All my homies hate the chest on the Soul Wars Island. It's dumb. Ever since Leagues, it literally made me quit Leagues for it. I can't stand that chest. Pissed me off. But the chest in the Lizard Man Temple is really nice. It doesn't teleport you too far away when you fail. And I like it. It's very accessible. Is it exactly the same content? Yeah. As long as there's no like it's moving mechanic, right? Like in Dorgeshan, the chests move. Like you have to run around and find the right chest. As long as this isn't like, me hearties, the reinforced pirate chest has disappeared and this one's empty. Come back later, and you got to sail to another location. Please don't do that. Just give us a couple reinforced pirate chests that we can just sit and pickpocket and get teleported away from, because this is a great, like, coins and runes, stackable, easy money. Coral frags, if they work anything like seeds, stackable, easy money. Clue scrolls, stackable, easy money. Cannonballs, stackable, easy money. Bring a gem bag. Maybe the bars will be shit. Drop them on the floor. Maybe keep them. Who knows? You also have a storage chest in your boat. If you could store other items in the storage chest like this general shit, it could be pretty good. And maybe because you can store shit in your boat, it's not so bad if you have to sail from island to island. If it's in a nice tight loop, right? If it's like, hey, there's a reinforced chest off the shores of Menephos and the other one is off the shore of fucking Hosidius, like, eat my ass. I'm not going all that way to go steal from this chest. I think these chests have a lot of potential.
Yeah, they do. And if you remember from the video, they have a teleport mechanic, but they say it's not going to be as annoying, which is nice. So I do think that this is going to be cozy content. Maybe this is your new AFK activity while we're doing the podcast, is you just chill at the reinforced pirates chest and you get all your
I am 74 thieving on the iron. I could get up to 70. I probably got to get higher, because if you go in with 76 thieving, you're going to have a fucking awful time, because that's how thieving works in this game. You unlock it at 55, don't do it till 80, like that type of shit. Ugh.
Yeah. So along with the chests, they're going to offer new merchant stalls. It says these bustling market stalls may look familiar, but unlike the ones you're used to, they don't deplete when stolen from. Although you still need to watch out for the guards. So if all my homies who hate Monkey Madness 2 platform puzzle can remember, you can't walk in front of a monkey when it's looking at you. Similar to the Sorcerer's Garden, all of these different things, rat catchers, same mechanic. If the guard is looking at you, you're dead, mate. But if it's not looking at you, you can go ahead and steal, get all the resources you want, and then stop when they look at you, and then steal. I'm sure there'll be a plugin that is going to give you like the timing of when this guard is going to look. If it's set on a rotation and a timer, that would be cool. If it's random, sure, why not? But they'll put you in jail, which is very, very fun.
If this is locked into place, unless they make these NPCs smarter than other guard NPCs, I would bet the farm that somebody sets up a CC on a world that blocks these fuckers from the most efficient stalls. If these resources never deplete, they've got to make smart NPCs, because you're telling me Runite ore and rune cannonballs are going to be pickpocketable with the equivalent of a guard getting splashed? Because that's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing a Splash Worlds type CC.
Well, maybe you can't attack
the guards are distracted. Not attacked. Blocked.
Not attacked, but like blocked from like turning. Oh,
blocked from turning. They find a way to manipulate pathing. They do something. They set an object up. You set up a cannon. They can't walk through it. It'll get patched. Do this the first week. If somebody figures out, if you go on Twitter and you're like, oh, somebody figure out how to stop the guards from moving, and they all conglomerate in this corner and you can steal from the fucking cannonball stall, go do it. Abuse early, abuse often, because that will be changed. That is not something that they probably intend to do. Unless they do, and turns out cannonball stalls are just dog shit XP per hour, and the chance of getting rune and adamant cannonballs or ore is so low, which I guess we could look at. OSRS.
They did say the XP is low.
Stall.
It's reduced XP for these stalls to compensate for the fact that you'll be able to like continually farm them.
Okay, the following drop rates. It's 1 in 3 for iron, 1 in 5 for coal, 1 in 8 for silver, gold, and mithril, 1 in 10 for adamant, and 1 in 40 for rune. So this yields, on average, according to the wiki, if you're stealing from the ore shop or ore stand in Moral Wreck, not that this is actually working, you're looking at about 42k an hour. So it's a money-making method. Like, none of these are going to be particularly good XP per hour, but it could be a pretty good money-making method. I would think somebody finds a way to manipulate the guards. That's my prediction. They block the guards. Jagex, if you're listening, let them cook and then hot fix it. How about that?
Abuse early, abuse often.
Abuse early, abuse often. Last thing that I kind of want to talk about here with you, Michael, is the cannons.
Ooh. Okay.
Are they sailing or are they range-based?
That's the question.
Did you read this part of the blog?
I'm going to.
Okay. So the TLDR, just in case you didn't get a chance to skim this one, because to your defense, this is the only part that is not mentioned in the video by our beloved Gnome Monkey. Mainly, cannons already have a staple as being used as range XP. The Dwarven multi-cannon gives range XP.
Full government name.
Yeah. The full government name is important here because the cannons on the side of your ship are going to give sailing XP.
What?
They're not giving range XP. They're giving sailing XP. The way they have described it is it will impact like pure accounts, right? Like level 3 skillers, for example, can train Slayer more easily because they can drag NPCs to shore. Some accounts can train range without having to train hit points or whatever. Just like random shit like that. They say that because only the Dwarven multi-cannon gives you range, while every other cannon is not, they're making cannons sailing based and not range based because it is thematically appropriate.
Okay.
Accuracy and damage will remain determined by your sailing skill level. This maintains thematic consistency and allows us to stay true to what's already been communicated and tested. What question am I going to ask, Michael? Is sailing a fucking combat skill? Because if your accuracy and damage are rolled determined by your sailing level, like, yes, I know there are some things in the game, like when you fight the Tangle route in the Lost City quest, it's based on your farming level. I know there are some things in this game that do that. The Guardians, I think the Guardians and Chambers, are they determined by your mining level or your strength level?
Mining level.
So, like, I know it's not, Ralph says it's both. It's not unheard of that a support skill utilizes combat. This is how you shoot shit off the boat.
The answer to this question is simple, and the answer is determined by the answer of this next question. Okay, if sailing is a combat skill, does that make
you dare
Slayer
say Slayer as a combat? I knew you were going to say it. Don't you dare say Slayer is a combat skill.
Then sailing is not a combat skill.
I understand sailing is not a combat skill, but your Slayer level doesn't determine your accuracy and damage on a monster.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not.
You know why?
Your Slayer level determines whether or not you can attack it. Don't you fucking get pedantic with me.
You can't be accurate or damage a Hydra until you're 95.
Shut up. You and I both know that is not what Slayer does.
I'm pedantic.
You and I both know that is not what Slayer does. Hi there. If you're new to the Xpwaste podcast and you're coming over from World of Warcraft, strap in and strap on. You have about 500 hours of this exact interaction that you got to listen through. I know it's not a combat skill. I know they're not going to raise our combat level. It just seems maybe a little weird. I don't know if it's inherently bad, but it's a little weird. You got to admit that your sailing level determines your accuracy, because also, are there going to be multi-combat areas in the game where you can just get a shitload of sailing XP per hour? Can you strap on the best cannons in the game and just do?
I feel like it's token XP, right? Like, rune cannonballs are what, like 7 XP per hit? I can't imagine
how it's
going to scale that high. I don't know, but I can't imagine that they're going to make firing rune cannonballs the best way to train your sailing skill. Like, you just sit at the edge of the crabs in south of ARRRGGHH, and you're just like boom, 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 boom. Sailing 99, didn't have to touch it.
Listen, I'm not saying that's what they're going to do, but I'm also not saying that's not something Jagex would historically overlook.
You're right.
You and I both know.
Right.
You and I both know they'd be like, "Yeah, you get some fucking KBD 3-headed cannon. It shoots once every 2 ticks, and you go somewhere where NPCs are targetable from the shore, and you just like, and you get a shit ton of sailing XP. You know it's something that they would overlook. You know it is.
It is. I can't put it past Jagex to
so while sailing
consider
is
that.
I know it's not a combat skill. I'm just saying that for dramatic effect. I also know that, like, it's a real concern, you guys. Like, this could impact the way we train sailing, because I know, like, yeah, it's not going to be like meta defining, I bet, but like
it will be.
It's going to add up. It's going to add up.
They call it out that level 3 skillers can now train Slayer more easily by luring Slayer monsters and killing them with their sailing cannon. You don't get combat XP. So it's going to change some metas, which is really cool. And even going to change precedent. So that part about whole, accuracy and damage, they followed up with saying, we're exploring new skill integrations in the future. For instance, we could add a magical cannon that utilizes your magic skill to shoot fireballs, or a range-focused dwarven ship cannon could be an exciting expansion. So, like, while you do have the sailing cannon, maybe we get like a rotating ballista-style machine gun of a cannon that just sits at the front and like I don't know. Ship cannonballs for PvP. Damn. That's where I want the incendiary ones. Is if you're in the wilderness, your ship is on fire on sight.
Bro. I ask this half sarcastically and half seriously. Are you going to be able to pray sailing in PvP? You laugh. It's determined on your fucking sailing level. So that means range, mage, and melee theoretically would have no effect over a fucking
It's typeless.
cannon. Are you gonna have a fucking boat over your head? Are you gonna be able to pray sailing in PvP?
Well, it'd be pre-cannon.
It'd be pray sailing. The name of
my
the skill is not
gosh.
called cannon, it's called sailing.
That's hilarious.
Pray sailing.
So what is it, like 47? 47 prayer. Oh,
Honest
funny.
to God, I think that would be a dog shit addition. Why would pray sailing be a bad addition to the prayer book?
Because it would move things around.
It would shift the position of all of the combat prayers. It would make me want to throw myself off a bridge.
Well, you can reorder them. So for all you magic book haters, I just put the monster inspect at the bottom, and now all the teleports in my magic, my high alch is in the same place. So
you feel
move
anchored
it.
to your ship, you get reduced damage. I love that. Brian M brings up a great point.
Well, that's the blog, isn't it?
That's the blog. You heard
Beautiful.
it here first, folks. You're going to be able to pray sailing when this update comes out.
What god are we praying to when we pray sailing?
Neptune, Poseidon, Davy Jones himself.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Well, that's going to do it for this section, folks. Thanks for listening to us. Probably, read something that you've already read, or maybe not. Maybe you hate reading.
Please,
just like
for
me.
the love of God, hasn't been fucking changed in the last 3
Yes.
days. We're
Please.
never beating the allegations.
Jagex. We did this one late, okay? We did this episode late so that we could beat the allegation, but we may not. And I'm trying to remember back a couple weeks ago if the last blog had any changes before it was released, but I don't know. I feel like it has to. At this point, you can't just drop all of this and not take some feedback before it goes to a poll, because they want things to pass. But as I said in the beginning, none of this is so far off base that I wouldn't vote yes to it.
It's all going to be a
Except-
blanket. Except?
What was it? The thing that made me mad? I can't remember.
The fact that No Monkey made the video?
I'm voting no to all of it because of No Monkey. But no, maybe deep sea trawling just for like the environmental impacts, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to go to break now. I got to let my dogs out. I cut out every single part where my dogs stormed into the room, but it happened 3 times.
His dogs teleported in. They didn't storm in. They teleported. Them
They
dogs are
definitely
magical.
teleported because I have 2 dogs. Anyway, we're going to go to break. So listen to this commercial. We love you, and we'll see you after the break.
Ahoy there, citizens of Gillinor. My name is Captain Murphy, and I'm on the hunt for seamen. I need the hardiest seamen around, the best in all of Gillinor. What am I gonna do with all these seamen, you ask? I'm gonna take them out on my world-famous fishing trawler. Here at Captain Murphy's fishing trawler, we're going out to sea for a juicy bounty that only the open ocean can provide us. The seas at Gillinor are perilous, so grab your rod with both hands and fill your mateys' holes with that sticky hot tar. Yarg. The journey across the open ocean will be long and hard, but incredibly rewarding. You'll be coming home with enough fish to fill your sack for the next week, and if the luck of the sea be upon you, you might even leave with another man's soggy trousers. Yarg. Bring you and all your salty sea dogs down to Port Khazard and sign up to take a trip out on Captain Murphy's fishing trawler. Be the seaman you were meant to be. Yarg.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break because I know I sure did. My co-host is getting water, which is fine. He'll be back in a second. He's got a little bit of an extended break, which is totally fine. We don't get on to him for that. Maybe we will once he gets back, but that's besides the point. One thing we are here to do is to thank the patron. Starting out,
Oh
on
shit,
the
are we
best
back?
tier.
Are we?
Yeah, we're
I didn't
back.
know. Mike, can you do the intro again, Michael? I didn't realize we were back.
Welcome back.
Hold on. I'm ready now.
There we go. We're caught up.
Oh.
Show us your smile.
No way. That's crazy.
She said, wow, throw him on the bus immediately. I said, just go get water. It's fine. Anyway, we're here to shout out the best tier of folks on the Patreon that I'm currently talking about. And that is a wise old man. And big shout out to Jimox for being our newest wise old man patron this week. Thank you so much for subscribing at the wise old man tier. We hope to see you in the recording booth one day. That would be sick. Your name is Jimox in Patreon, and I don't see you here.
How's it spelled?
Jimocks.
Okay.
Jimox.
Okay.
Jimox.
I was worried it was spelled GIMECXCKS or something. I was concerned. It's like something not even.
Anyway, mispronunciations aside, that is our wise old man, and they are on the screen. They have been on the screen for quite a while. I just didn't call it out. So thank you to all of our wise old man patrons for being there for us every single week. You guys are amazing. The coolest thing about the wise old man tier is my favorite aspect of it. It is the tier you get access to the recording booth. For the low price of $10 a month, you can hang with us 4 times a month in the recording booth and see all the stuff that you don't get to see in the episode. Like Oxie say a lot.
I think you cut out too many of those, dude. I gotta level with you. Because I do the show professionally, I think you take out so many of the that sometimes the conversation feels like we just talk constantly. I think maybe it's because I talk for a living, or that I've listened to every episode we've released because I've been a part of it. It sometimes sounds like I don't ever take a breath. Like we edit
Which
so
is fine.
much of the no, it's not. To me, it sounds unnatural. Sometimes.
People listen to this show on 2 times speed because we talk slow.
Because we don't shut the fuck, Michael. We're on hour 2. We're 2 hours and 6 minutes into this episode. They don't put it on double speed because I say They
we're
put it on
2
double
hours and
speed
6
because
minutes
we don't shut the fuck up.
We're in 2 hours and 6 minutes of the recording track. You have to factor in the fact that
I forgot the
my
4
dogs
minutes.
left.
The 4 minutes that you cut out in total of this episode.
8 minutes that I was gone.
80 fucking minutes to remove and take care of for some reason.
So right now, realistically, we are just under 1 hour and 46, maybe 1 hour and 52 minutes.
You think it's been 20 minutes?
Yeah, I do think that.
People listening to this episode right here, timestamp the video and tell me how long. Michael's going to cut shit out on a spite. He's going to make it exactly 1 hour and 52 minutes because he has the power to do that with editing. I really think that so many of the ums are cut out. Listen to the older
56.
episodes and then listen to the newer episodes. I think so many of the ums are cut out that it doesn't sound
in the comments.
It doesn't sound like me. Of course, no one's going to think it matters because nobody fucking talks to me. They don't have to listen to me as much as I have to listen to me. It sounds like unnatural. It does not sound like a natural flow when we try to take every pause out to make it hyper efficient.
Jax Wright says it does make the video look choppy. I could actually care less how it looks.
Michael,
I'm
we're
here
a
for how
video
it sounds.
podcast.
I'm here for how it sounds.
We should care about how it looks. We're a video podcast. The whole reason why we keep blowing up on Spotify is because we're a video podcast.
It's because you're so gosh dang handsome.
You're goddamn right I am. And they don't want to see me go from here to over here when you cut this part.
Oh my gosh, don't do that. Don't do that.
To over here when you cut this part. Nobody wants to fucking see me do that.
Don't do that.
That's a little editing. I don't know what Michael left in to prove a point, or if he cut that out because he just can't stand the silence. You guys watch me bounce around the screen. That's how you know I know the process. Michael makes it seem like I don't know the process. I know this game in and out, baby girl.
Well, here's the thing. We have to move on. And this like in terms of stalling, this is more than enough for me to get the next segment going. And that is the Jad tier folks in our Patreon. These folks, they're the not the ones we're going to shout out, actually.
I was
It's
going to say,
the
are you
KBD.
sure it's the chat tier?
Yeah, it's the KBD for sure.
God,
Next tier up is the KBDs.
I'm made to be the jester of the Xpwaste podcast, and in reality, oh, no, go ahead.
Shouting out the
Finish your
KBD
part.
patrons from the top, make it drop. We're going to shout out and big thank you to Two to Fly, 6 Dixon with the cider, Brooks 70, my dad, Oxie's dad, all of our dad. He's not my dad, but he is for the show. Cloud Kicker, Crash Out Jack, who I just want to shout out separately a little bit more. If you don't know why he's Crash Out Jack, look him up in game and then ask him if he has a Noxious Halberd.
Don't you dare do that to my boy.
He's not even here to defend himself.
Don't you dare. That's
which is
why I'm
so
defending.
fine.
That's why I'm
It's so
defending
great.
him for him. Don't
Look
you dare
up-
do that to my
Look up Crash Out Jack, all one word, message him in game, and ask him if he's got his halberd yet. He
Look up-
doesn't.
Look up
Next up-
Bloodhound with 2 U's and ask him how many of them chambers KCs are his. Don't do that to my boy.
Well, you're going to look up somebody who's not me, so that's fine. Elite Oreo Dunker is next. Then it's JX Riot, Lil Drakey, our third favorite Patreon supporter, Ralph, Run Metal 15, Ryan M, Rylithian, Sparky Life, and the Big G Jordy. Thank you so much to all of our KBD patrons. You guys are amazing. You are no longer the big bad tier. That has been, that tier has graduated to the big bad Jads, but you still are special in my heart. So thank you so much to the KBD patrons. Moving on, next up, we do have the big bad Jads, and I'll be reading them from the top, just like I did for all of them. Big shout out and big thank you to Captain Crash, Flood Day, Kyrandia, Mithril Fork, Oxie's Satanic Femboy 666, Petite River, Rainfalls Red, the Soggiest of Waffles, the S tier Deviled Egg, and Woloznik. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much to all of our Jad tier patrons. You should be receiving a new shirt. If you've subscribed from the beginning, which I think some of you have, your next shirt is coming soon because it's every 3 months. And I think the new quarter is in like September or something. I don't know. Soon-ish. So be on the lookout for that. And that is the Patreon, folks. If you want to join the Patreon at any tier possible, you can head on over to patreon.com/XPWaste. We have many, many tiers available, some of which you've heard this evening, some which you didn't. I do have to make a formal apology to all of our patrons, starting at the Party Pete tier, because Oxie and I did not have a stream in the month of July. And I don't think that we're going to make a stream happen to compensate for that. So you'll just have to wonder what we would have done and how fun it would have been, and catch us on the next one, which is in August, this month. The third Friday of every month, we do a Patreon stream for our Party Pete tier and up. And you can be a part of that if you join the Patreon. Patreon.com/XPWaste. We'll see you there.
Jagex Riot says, if they remember, we did remember. And I think the issue with July was I was not around for 3 of the 4 Fridays in July. And I'm pretty sure I made that clear multiple times. And every time I get a text like, hey, what are you doing? I'd be like, hey, not home. Like I said. And he'd be like, frick, we're supposed to do a Patreon stream. I'm like, I know. That's why. Don't you deviled egg me, JX Riot. All right, fine. I can't play into this conversation anymore. My blood pressure's gonna go too high.
Well, I do think we should move on. And this could be a good topic for what we like to call the community question. The next segment here, we're going to answer the question that we asked you guys a couple of weeks ago at this point. And that question was, what is your most ideal block list look like? What does it look like? What does your ideal block list look like? We have several different comments here. A lot of the ones on Spotify, which I'm very happy about, but also it's going to take a lot of sorting, is, and I quote, Michael, you're so dumb, the demons, blah, 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 blah. So you guys didn't disappoint with actually leaving that as a comment. So thank you to
Great
all
work,
the people
guys.
who did
Great
that.
work.
Thanks. Starting out on Spotify, Adam says, block list for clogs. Oh, this is clogs, please. So clogs, please says, Araxites, what? Black dragons, dust devils, excuse me, rune dragons, and gargoyles. Tell me how that makes sense. Araxites? Cannonable?
One more
Black
time.
dragons, baby black dragons are so simple. Dust devils, also great XP. Rune dragons, if you don't have them extended, that's like 2. And then gargoyles, which I get gargoyles. They're very slow, but like, huh? Clogs, please? Do you need help?
He said this is for what now?
This is
For
Clogs
collection?
Please's block list. The
What's the-
player.
Yeah, I
In-game
know.
name Clogs Please.
Michael, I know who Clogs Please is. Is
Well,
there
you're
a
asking me silly
goal,
questions.
or is he just like?
He just says-
I'm not asking you silly questions. Is it a goal, or is he just?
I
weird?
don't know. I think he's just weird.
Fair
I think
enough.
he's
You know
literally
what?
just weird.
Listen, clogs do be clogging. I don't understand the clog game as well as he does. Maybe he's onto some tech that we're not.
Maybe he's gotten the clogs from these monsters and like this is just, a way to make his clog journey easier. And maybe it's an ever-growing and ever-changing list. As he gets the Urania boots and all of the drops from Araxor, he blocks them to make his time more efficient. Who knows? What I do know is that Moist Sean says, Michael, you're so dumb, the demons, blah, 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 blah. And he says, my block list is fire giants, cowfight, trolls, brine rats, dagonoths, zagamites, and vampires. That's more than 7, is it not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's 7. Okay, cool. I thought you could like not unlock vampires and not have to block them, but I guess I'm wrong. Who knows? Next up, Abaddon says, Michael, you're so dumb, the demons. Blah, 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 blah. P.S. Oxie is correct. The name is pronounced Abaddon. It comes from the book of Revelation, and he is the king of Locust. So, Abaddon. The age-old question, who is right? It wasn't a question. I was wrong. Abdadon, what I was saying. Abdadon.
You were saying
But it's
abandon at first.
Yes, I was. But after that, I was saying Abdadon. Next up, Adrian says, I don't have a full block list, but I could go my whole life without killing another Suqua or Anku. Calfights are on thin effing ice as well. P.S. Michael, you're so dumb. The demons. Next up, Bird Fan Max, formerly known as Young Mac, says, Drake's for sure. Not planning on getting devout boots for the old iron. Not sure what else with the metal dragons with the changes coming soon. So I guess he would have blocked metal dragons, but who knows? And I should have said, and finally, instead of saying and next, because Bird Fan Mac was the last one on Spotify. We have a lot of comments on that episode, so if you want a good hoot, a good of a time, go and read them. You can access the comment section on Spotify to read through. Moving over on to YouTube, where we asked you the same question: what does your most ideal block list look like? Sarah Dolman 992 says, "Okay, first, I must reply to Oxie. Yes, I am your chair." Back from the landfill where you so cruelly dumped me. If anyone's wondering, the boys are back. Episode 146 at timestamp 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 16 seconds is where I changed my name the first time, and your reaction was quite pleasing. Now, for my block list, for Durer Daddy, of course, it goes Trolls, Suqwas, Aberrant Specters, Fire Giants, Cave Horrors. Number 6 was Greater Demons, but I've unblocked them since the release of Tormented Demons and have not replaced it yet. And 7 is currently empty. So thank you, Oxie's chair, aka Sarah Dolman 992.
I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew that was my chair.
And on YouTube, I think this is the last one. Let me skim real quick. It's not. So next up on YouTube, Melvin Man says, from an actual ethical standpoint, the ideal Slayer block list must include dwarves, elves, dogs, monkeys, and cows. If you're out there butchering these innocent creatures, then shame. Well, okay. I want to say like
I've always been more of a cat guy. I don't know.
Well, at least cats aren't aren't any on aren't any Slayer block list or any Slayer monster. Anyway, the last comment we have here on YouTube is from Highlander, and they say, I know you mentioned not knowing about RS3, but at high level Slayer, 90 plus, you have a Slayer Master who has normal tasks and a chance to assign a clutter task. Sometimes they'll just assign demons or dragons. That's not a block list question, but I did think it was interesting. So thank you, Highlander, for the clutter task reply. That's going to do it for the community question this week, folks. Thank you so much to everyone who answered last week's question.
This week's question will be, what new real-life resource would you add to old school RuneScape for sailing, and what purpose would it serve in sailing?
Thank you, Oxie. What do I say after this? Do you know?
Oh, you can answer that question in the comments of this Spotify episode or check the pinned comment of this YouTube video. You say it with that exact inflection every time. Once again, I am not the jester of this show, Michael. I'm forced to say.
Dance monkey.
A banger of a tune.
Yeah. So that's going to do it.
Anyways, now I'm going to toss it over to Oxie for Achievement of the Week.
Wow. I don't have to talk. I'm just going to sip my root beer. Let's go.
That's right. Thank you, Michael. It is Achievement of the Week time. You are absolutely correct. It's a 2-weeker, so it's big. Not like as big as it was a while ago when it was like Achievement of the Decade, you know, when we messed that whole thing up. But we are here, and we do have quite a few achievements to get through, starting off with the skilling category this week. Indoor Kite has achieved 99 rune crafting. Elkine has achieved 99 wood cutting. Def Not Ruben has achieved 99 construction. Real Crazy has achieved 99 wood cutting. Wukong Rambo has achieved 99 attack. Ninja Crumpet has achieved 99 mining. Apex Wolf has achieved 99 strength. McPuppy has achieved 99 range. There's a 4 in your name. It threw me off. 99 range. Dr. Bone has achieved 2k total and 99 strength. Binding Bink has achieved 99 thieving. Platypus 4 has achieved 99 range. Chips FE has achieved 99 farming. Lotzenheis, I think that's how you say that name. Lotzenheis has achieved 99 construction. My boy Blitz has achieved 99 mage. Voltoro has achieved 99 fletching. Brian M has achieved 99 hit points. Lost Leaf has achieved 99 smithing. Seymour has achieved 99 construction. Walazer has achieved 99 firemaking. Fearnen has achieved 99 farming. Mr. Microwave has achieved 99 mining. Soggy has achieved 99 construction. And just a few moments ago during the podcast, Rune 22 achieved 99 woodcutting. First 99 ever. Additionally, Walt Kidney and Barrington achieved 2200 total level, while just a few moments ago, Zerniak achieved 2200 total level. That is not the only total level achievement we have, though, because both Six Dicks Insider and Wheat Toast have achieved 2277 total level. I don't know if this was this episode or the episode before, because he did say it's not What Toast, it's Wheat Toast. That may have been the episode before. But yeah, they both achieved 2277. You guys maxed. This seems like a bad episode to talk about it because a new skill is coming out and you're going to lose your fancy new max cape. But enjoy it while you have it. It's a wonderful item. Additionally, tacking on to the end of the skilling category, one we don't see super often, Fortimus achieved 200 mil cooking.
Whoa.
I don't know what rank he is. I'm going to look him up, as a matter of fact. What
I'm going to
rank
guess. Don't tell me. I'm going to guess. 3,712.
Fortimus with 200 mil cooking comes in at, wow, 3,922. That's impressive, Michael. That's a little weird that you know that, but impressive nonetheless. Moving on over to the miscellaneous category this week, just mixing things up all over the place. We do have 5 brand new quest capes with Indub, Buckeye Boyo, Secco, Discreet One, and Kyle, or the Submariner. They've all gotten their quest capes this week. Big ups to you guys. And I think they got it for the first time, not just because Varlamore Part 3 came out with new quests. We have 3 new music capes as well. My boy Jack, the poor crash out there, Jack, Weft and Narad21, all three of them achieved their music capes this week. We also have some other weird miscellaneous achievements. You know I love shouting out the weird miscellaneous achievements. Chips FE with a double-double this week achieved the 20-year cape in RS3. Spartan6942 achieved 99 dad by having what I think is his first child. Congratulations to you, my friend. And Gus achieved 99 fiance. Or is it 99 girlfriend? Is 99 girlfriend when you ask to get married and they say yes? And then 99 fiance is when they become your like wife, husband, whatever? Or is 99 fiance when you get, I don't know. Point is, Gus got engaged. Congratulations, big dog. Finally, moving over to the combat section, the last section that we talk about here on this Dear Achievement of the Week segment of the podcast. The servers have been terrible. I keep lagging trying to get cooking supplies out of my bank. That notwithstanding, though, we do have some first fire capes. Indoor kite with a double-double this week. 99 rune crafting and a first fire cape. Big week. Two to Fly achieved his first fire cape on his Iron Man, as did Shadow Bance and the Red-Headed Jew. Both got their first fire capes for the first fire capes for the same time. What am I trying to say, folks? I don't know. But the four of you got your fire capes for the first time. Congratulations. Speaking of firsts, Shinkiro got his first ever corrupted gauntlet KC. Don't mind that it's on its Iron Man. Shinkiro's never killed the corrupted gauntlet. This was his first time doing it on Gravemorn. Yeah. He knew you were going to get shouted out. First time ever doing it. Additionally, Mr. Microwave also got his first corrupted gauntlet KC, which truly is an exciting achievement. Epic Hot Tub killed Zulra for the first time, and coming in with our third double-double of the episode, Voltoro killed Gauntlet for the first time. Moving on over to the combat achievement section, some of them of Achievement of the Week. Papa Redbeard achieved the easy combat achievements. Coupe de Grace, or Coupe de Grace, achieved the elite combat achievements, and KCT also achieved the elite combat achievements. Now, during the episode, my boy Dean709, the legend, procced the elite combat achievements. But Dean's a mega gamer, so I don't know if that's the first time Dean did it or if Dean finally got them back. I'm not 100% sure, so it's like a half shout out to Dean. Brother, let me know if it's first or not. Moving on to other firsts, we got some big ones coming up. This next section is thick. This is the next little block. It's thick. So GIM May, after 50 odd attempts or so, finally achieved their quiver. Congratulations. Jaharry's Riley got Radiant Oathplate. That looks hot. I'm sorry. Radiant Oathplate looks cool as hell. I'm not. I'm just apologizing to the people who think it looks ugly because they're wrong. I don't know. Radiant Oathplate looks sick as hell. Listen, I'm sorry. I got, you did it again. What is it? Great tits and good opinions or something like that? I don't know.
Just say I'm not sorry. It looks amazing.
I'm sorry my co-host is getting pedantic about it. Radiant Oathplate, it's hot. Congratulations, Riley. Twin Rova completed the Grandmaster Combat achievements.
Again or the first time?
Possibly.
Because this guy's known for doing things twice.
Yeah. Are you asking if this is like his first time ever? Or
yeah, or is this on the Iron?
Is Twin Rova that's his Iron Man, isn't it?
Oh, I thought it was like, because isn't this the guy who's like first Infernal Cape, first attempt or something? We're like, oh, but this is on the Iron. Twin Norva?
Yeah. I'm finding it now. Hold on. Oh, okay. He said we finished just in time to finish them tomorrow, or just in time to lose them tomorrow. His last combat task was the Nightmare Solo Speedrunner, and he completed the Grandmaster tier of the combat achievements. Congratulations. See? He's also a gamer. Listen, I'm not trying to deny. I'm not trying to deny this man's prowess as a mega gamer, but I can't say for certain if that's his first time owning a Zuck helm on any account. I can't say for certain if he doesn't have one on his main, if he even plays his main. because in truth, I don't talk to him super often, but I know he's a mega gamer. So congratulations. Finally, though, as we know, despite over the years it not being the most difficult thing in the world, though it's still objectively pretty fucking hard if you ask me, we have 2 Infernal Capes to close out Achievement of the Week. Both Taco and Fishy Bun achieved their Infernal Capes for the first time. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. There truly is no feeling in this game that is more euphoric than completing the Inferno for the first time. And you boys did it. Congratulations. Nothing's ever going to be as hard again. Take it from me. Things are going to burn you out like the Inferno will. Go look at my Coliseum, Casey. I'm telling you, things are going to burn you out just like the Inferno will. But I promise nothing will ever be as hard as completing the Inferno for the first time. So congratulations. Congratulations to you and congratulations to everyone who achieved something this week on Achievement of the Week. If you did something awesome and you want to tell us about it, head over to our Discord, discord.gg/OSRSTNL, and post about it in the levels and achievements chat. Now, I know we tend to only shout out 99s and Infernal Capes and things like that. We want to see everything. We just scroll up a little bit. Somebody posted a combat achievement that they got. Look at that. Sure enough, Dean just put that shit in the levels and achievements chat. He did get the elite combat achievement. That's my boy. Fuck you, Dean. That's what I'm talking about. People are posting quest capes. People are posting 99s. People are posting 1900 total level. Nuke Moose posted a picture of someone saying "plea" 3 or 4 times in a row. You know, it's sometimes that's how it be. Post about the things that you find awesome, and the community will find them awesome with you. Because we have objectively the best old school RuneScape community in the world. If you're new to this game and you want to find a good community, come hang out with us. We're currently holding a Chambers of Xeric Learner event, and there are, how many people are in that call? 11 people in VC on a Monday night at 10 o'clock on a Monday night. They just finished the raid, an 8-person Chambers of Xeric run by my boy Nate Dogg. We're doing a Chambers Learner event right now. Come learn to do Chambers of Xeric. It's going on for a couple more days. We're not a very gatekeepy community. We literally made everything up with like bare minimum stats in mind. We did a TOB event a couple weeks ago, which went excellent. Come hang out with us because we're awesome. And also listen to the podcast with the Discord too. That's cool. But anyways, we've been talking for a while. That's what we do. Podcast. But I think it's about time to stop talking soon. But the only way to stop talking soon is to ask my co-host Michael. Michael, my friend, do you have a fun question for us this week?
That was buttery smooth. And
You're
to
damn
answer
right
your
it
question,
was.
I have 2 fun questions.
Holy shit. 2 fun questions.
2 fun questions in the form of postcards. One of them's kind of short, so we're gonna pad it a little bit with the second one. But to start us out, Bart Simpson, postcard from Fish Blunt. Thank you, Fish Blunt, for this wonderful card and all the art on the back. Pretty neat. I like this.
Nice.
Right here. Right here. I like this. This is cool. I might put the card like this instead of like this, just because I like this so much. But
they did a very good job with the art and things. Yeah.
They say, fun question. What if jumping in OSRS? Boss mechanic jumping? Also, what if mounts? Love you guys. From Fish Blunt. That is word for word, verbatim, what they said. Jumping in OSRS? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? I think it would be weird to have the ability to just press the spacebar and jump while also having a separate mechanic of the agility skill. So take that however you will. But I do think that boss mechanics for jumping would be interesting. Like if you could stand in one spot and like the boss is in front of you and then suddenly kaboosh, it jumps over you and now it's behind you, but it does that in like a tick and a half or something. And you can't respond, like you can't turn around before it gets to you.
So
jumping
lizardmen
in OSRs.
shamans?
Sure.
I think my first thought was like TOA would be a joke. You could just jump over the floor. I think jumping would be a tough sell because of the way True Tile works.
Yeah.
Why do I need to jump over something when I can True Tile over it and not use an extra key input? You know?
True.
So
it's point and click for a reason.
Theoretically, could be fun, but maybe more fun to see like NPCs or something do that, you know?
Could we have a player-owned house trampoline? That'd be kind of cool.
That I would concede to. Jumping an OSRS on a trampoline would be fun.
Yeah. Jump with your friends on your trampoline in your house. And then he says, also, what if mounts? I'm all for mounts. I think that would be sick as hell. Oxie hasn't done the new quest, so I can't really talk about it, but one of the new quests kind of like jokingly nods at that. So once you finally get around to doing it, we can have this fun conversation. So
I think mounts in this game do not serve the purpose you think they do. We can teleport everywhere. I don't think mounts serve a purpose at all for travel. Do them bitches serve a purpose to flex at the GE? You're damn right they do. I think mounts could be like, I don't know, dude. Mounts are great for end game cosmetic flexing. That's what mounts are for. I think that's why we need mounts in OSRS. Travel wise, I don't think they're useful at all. We could just teleport there. Might be fun in a league when you can't teleport. Otherwise, though, I think they're functionally useless, but boy howdy would they be cool to flex. I think they would be cool for that reason.
Can I level with you? I got to. I would never teleport anywhere if I could ride on the back of a dragon to go places. We kind of have it right now with how Quetzals work, where you kind of click it and then it's just instant.
That's still just
flies.
Teleporting. That's just thematic teleporting.
It is, but if we could fly on the back of a dragon and I could conduct my farm run via the back of a dragon, you would never catch me teleporting because that's sick. So I think aerial combat via a dragon would be cool as hell. And I would put my teleports away. I would just like leave the room pouch at home. Friendship with room pouch ended.
I thought you ended your friendship with your rune pouch during the last bingo.
Hey, that's not nice.
But it's
after
funny.
After that massive blow to my ego and my... Anyway, we have another postcard from Hawaii.
Hawaii National Park. I love those.
These are beautiful cards.
Love those national park cards. What's it? Interpretive National Park? Is that what it says? I can't see it.
It says Interpretive Park Naturalist at this summit, Kilua Summit, for all-day hikes to sulfur banks, steam vents, fern jungle, and lava tube.
Oh,
sick.
Yeah.
So this one is from Riley, aka Neetsis. He says, Michael plus Oxie, aloha from a volcano in Hawaii. Aloha. For the fun question, you are tasked with creating 2 new random events. What are they? And will they have clogs so people don't dismiss them? Also, if they have clogs, what are they? Thank you so much, Riley, aka Neetsis, for this fun question on this beautiful postcard. Then I must read this real quick. Between 1935 and 1943, the WPA Federal Art Project printed over 2 million posters in 35,000 different designs to stir the public's imagination for education, theater, health, safety, and travel. Due to their fragile nature, only 2,000 posters have survived. This contemporary design illustrates many of the WPA era posters, including those of our national parks. So this is a shout out to a campaign for art, which I love that. So nice. Great postcard. So we're tasked with creating a new random event and potentially clogs.
Well, the first, it's funny you mentioned that I got the count check random event as soon as that popped up. The first random event that comes to mind for me is a goblin that bothers you. It's a goblin that bothers you, and all you got to do is talk to him, kind of like Rick Turpentine, and he gives you things.
Yeah.
Mostly garbage, but there's like a 1 in 100 chance that he gives you a wearable goblin mail that is just a brown crop top.
Oh, nice.
It's just a really I don't know if I want to make it like stale baguette rare, but like
yeah.
make it tradable, make it fun. I don't know. Maybe not 1 in 100. That seems kind of fucked, but like, you know, just a wearable crop top goblin mail as a random event item. The other random event, I'm not a fan of the like hostile random events. Like you can miss me with that shit. I don't need that anymore in my life. I would like some sort of random event, maybe like after you complete Monkey Madness 2 or something, like something that's like newly old school. Does that make sense? Something that's new to old school, a new old school random event. Maybe something with a Varlamore themed NPC or a Zaya themed NPC, or like, I don't know, it's a play on the Pillory Guard where the Shazian soldiers lock you in jail, or like you have to solve some sort of like quirky little puzzle that makes you run around and you get some sort of like stupid outfit. I know I'm just like describing random events, but I'm trying to really like flesh one out. Give me your ideas and I'll see what I can cook with in here, you know?
Okay. So, in honor of my dogs barging in like a random event during the episode, I think that you encounter like randomly like a Dalmatian just like pops up and barks at you. Bark, 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 bark. And you give it a pet. And if you pet the dog, they teleport you to a dog shelter where you have to let other dogs out of cages before the evil shelter person puts them down. And you save the dogs from the shelter and you all run out and you get a bone tie. So instead of a bow tie, it's a bone tie that you can wear as a cosmetic. It's just like a dog bone that you wear around your neck.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah. And then my second one is the Lumbridge Guide. So we have some NPCs in the game like Count Check, who are staple parts of the game. You have the wise old man, not the wise old man, but the mysterious old man, the strange old man, whatever his name is. I feel like the drunken dwarf is also an NPC somewhere, but the Lumbridge Guide, the guy that stands out in the wizard robes, all you have to do for him is come to Lumbridge and unlock the front gate. So he teleports you wherever you are. This is like a standalone version of Lumbridge. He's like, I need your help, podcasters. So you come in, you unlock the front gate, you step through, and then you can just like, as a cosmetic reward, you get his robes. So you can walk around as the Lumbridge Guide with some sick ass cosmetic robes. And it's a guaranteed every time you do it.
I like that, actually. I think that's nailed the inspiration for mine. You get stopped by a Varlamore winemaker who says, hi, the vineyard is in shambles. I need your help. And you have to, it's nothing crazy. It's kind of similar to like the Posty Pete mini game with Molly, where you have to like memorize what grapes need to go in the vat and a bunch of grapes, and you pick out the grape, and when you put the right one in, your character walks in and squish, 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 squish. Yeah. And you get
nice.
you get a piece of winemaker's outfit, and your feet, like it's the main cosmetic is the bare feet that are covered in wine. You know,
Let's go.
That could be
nice.
a thing.
I like that.
That'd be fun. You
like
know,
stained feet.
Yeah, like stained feet, and like just like wine stained, like a stupid little outfit, you know, whatever. Maybe whatever they wear on Alderan. So
yeah, that's great. I love that. That would be so much fun. I think that like more regularly, random events should come into the game. I think that we should have so many random events that you don't see the same one for like a month because they're just so
that's
many.
A bitch when you attach a collection log to it. I'll tell you that.
Well, true, but there's other ways. I don't know. Maybe they add more ways to get a stale baguette. Like that's the only one people really care about. Yes, there's collection logs for the ones that are guaranteed, but the collection log for the stale baguette, maybe you just like different variants of a sandwich person You have the sandwich lady. You have the sandwich hunk. You have the sandwich grandma. Different people that can bring you sandwiches. The sandwich goblin would be cool. Because like you could have the cook from that quest where he burnt meat is his name, I think.
Oh God,
burnt meat offer you a sandwich.
I'm blanking on who. Somebody drew us a goblin sandwich lady.
Yes.
Did they not? Bennyscape?
Yes, Bennyscape. Benny Beescape.
Yeah,
Yep.
Benny Beescape. Yeah. Maybe it's that guy.
Right
Yeah.
there. The goblin sandwich lady. That would be sick. So I just want more random events because what we're describing is actually kind of fun. And I don't think that it would be that much work for Jagex to like develop a new random event. And like, I'm going to sound like an asshole when I say this, but I wouldn't even care if they took out some of the old random events that are kind of just dumb. Like the troll one, Flippa or whatever his name is, never touch Flippa. Such a boring event.
You don't want to play pinball?
I don't. Okay, I don't. It's so long, and the I know Bob the Cat is a staple in RuneScape, but like the one where you have to smush the balloon, I don't know why, but that's just so annoying to me. It takes so long. So they could cycle out different random events and add new ones to keep it fresh, and maybe people would interact with them. But the real staple is the ones that give you like the XP lamps. Those are the ones people want. And maybe they just give you like silly things like somebody just comes and drops a lamp in your inventory. More of those would be great. Thank you, Nietzsche, for that question on this beautiful postcard. And thank you to Fishy Blunt for your postcard as well. If you want to send us a postcard, you can do so by going to our P.O. Box 2376. Where is it? Right here. Keller, Texas 76244. That's the postcard. That's the P.O. Box. I will go and check it, and we'll see if we have one. We have more. We have one other postcard sneak peek. You didn't see it. It was too quick. That's for next week, though. And we'll be done with postcards. Unless you're hearing this now, and you can get a postcard in the mail. We'll have more postcards for more fun questions. Ask us whatever you want. Send us a postcard from your hometown. Tell us your fun question, and we'll answer it here on the show. And I'll put the postcard back up on the wall because I got more of those little hanger things. And I think if we can get this headspace filled in, that would be a good goal for 2025.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So thank you so much for the people who wrote us in and gave us a postcard. That's going to do it for the show, folks. You've made it. We're here. It's done. It's not a celebration, but it is an accomplishment because this episode almost didn't happen. So be thankful you got it. Last week was a fluke. I don't know why. It was just one of those weeks. But we're here this week, and that's all that matters. And it's the end of the show.
No, not next week. 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now might be tough. We'll see. We're going to see what we can figure out. We're going to see what we can cook up.
We'll see. But yeah, if you want to get more of Xpwaste when we're not around, you can check out the description of the episode for all the links you could ever want. You can check out our merch store. We have some cool designs there, like I'm showcasing the Xpwaste dad hat and the Pride Frogs shirt. We have our Patron in the description. We have our link tree. Like I said, the P.O. box is in the description. If you didn't catch it just now and you don't want to rewind, it's in the description for you. So anything you could ever want, all there. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. If you're on Spotify or Apple, maybe leave us a rating. I think we're pretty close to 1,000 on Spotify, so that'd be kind of cool. But that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the show, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.